We are back with another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast. In this Philly heat, we're going to be talking Phillies bringing the heat, looking for the second half of the season, where they're going to go. We got some training camp talk, and I'm sure there's other topics we can get into. You're listening to the Santa Boot First podcast.
That doesn't want to work.
All right. Sing it, Smitty.
Yeah, we'll stay.
I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything? Your
No,
headphones
mic-
are on?
Yeah, no, it's
We're on.
Uh-oh.
not on.
We're on.
We're on.
All right, well
Is that the mind flayer
Smitty
messing with us?
Vecna's coming for you.
Listen,
Well, Smitty figures it out. There we go.
We from P-H-I-L-A period. P-A
All right, well,
period.
you don't need the headphones. If Nate has anything to say, we'll relay it to
His
you.
headphones not working?
Headphones are not working.
Oh,
Are yours?
Mine are working.
Yeah, I'm good.
Maybe I'll unplug his by
Should
choice.
unplug his mic, maybe.
Yeah,
I
a
do
little
see
early
something
for that.
unplugged over there.
yeah, maybe something got pulled.
Is that it? That is
yeah,
it.
That is it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
All right, we'll
I
get
gotcha.
it
I feel like
set
sneak
up.
out of the
Robertson
camera
from the
in the
Phillies. They didn't send me my cleats. I'm wearing club stuff still.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast, coming to you live from beautiful downtown Willow Grove, the lovely Crack Bell
on?
Production Studios
I think so.
on this fantastic, hot Thursday evening.
Yep, I'm in.
You're in? You got nice.
That's it.
See, look
Put me
fine.
in,
You got a
coach.
second
Dude,
second
That's all
calling.
we needed.
I don't have a union card to do that, though. I might have broken some rules
Ah.
there. Nate, am I good?
You're good.
right.
Talk to the man behind the glass. All right, this is Jim Marcus to my left. We have the AP, the ruthless Ryan Smitty.
What's up,
What's going
man?
on, Smitty?
What's up? What's up?
To his left, we got special guest in tonight, AB, Brian Flannery, Avalon Bry, the man of many names.
There you go.
What's going
I'm
on?
happy to be back.
Good to have you back.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun night. We got no Martins tonight. We got Nate Money Moss keeping us live and on the air. What's going on, Nate?
You.
Yeah, I did hear the intro last week. You asked me. DJ kind of butchered it. I do appreciate that he called me a professional. There's one thing we've been missing out on for I don't know how many years now. Deke is Deke. DJ's name is Donald Joseph. Why are we not calling him Dojo? We need to be calling him Dojo.
Dojo.
It's actually not
Dojo.
bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The Martin, the
He's got
Martin,
the hair
the
for it.
Martin Dojo.
Dojo.
Donald Joseph
Sensei
Martin.
Sensei Martin. What do you think?
Hey, listen.
We'll see if they're listening, if they chime in on that comment.
Yeah.
Let's give a thanks to our sponsor before we get started here. We got insurephilly.com.
I always thought he was.
Oh, God.
DJ was Deke Donald Jr.
No,
because he's
not.
Donald Kennedy, which is why he's Deke.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I heard that last week.
I did not know that.
When DJ called him Deke, it was uncomfortable. Or he called him Donald Kennedy. It was uncomfortable. And then Deke came back and said, okay, Donald Joseph. And I was like, oh, Donald Joseph. I don't think
if
we
you don't
knew
like
that.
your first name, would you pass it on? Especially if you're not
if you're not family name.
Well, right, but you're not keeping it going. Like you're not.
Yeah,
junior.
you're not making them junior or the
Right.
third or
That's fascinating.
yeah. I don't know. That's why I cut the James off at Brody is
Yeah,
Brody.
Dylan is Dylan.
Yeah, have your own identity, kid.
That's right.
Although I've never met a James I didn't like. We're good guys.
Jimmy Johnson.
See, now you got to throw one out there.
Dude, that's an easy one.
That is an easy one. That's a softball.
LeBron James.
That's not a first name.
That's a good one.
I do not like LeBron.
I don't dislike LeBron either. I just don't think he's as good as Jordan. But
yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
we're not.
I'm
gonna
with
do
you
that
on
tonight.
there. I'm with you on there. My dad threw me some Wilt stats today too, and I was like, Deke's not here, and I don't know that we'll get any Sixers talk, so we'll save them for another
Maybe.
time.
Oh,
He's got the bulletin on in a couple scrapbooks at home. He'll reference that next week.
Yeah, I'm sure
He's
he'll
gonna
know.
bring out the pictures in the game.
Like it was
Big
his
shoebox of stained black and whites.
it was like his max points in a game, his max rebounds in a game, his max assists in a game. And it was ridiculous. Like we all know the 100 points. But
Sure.
Then I think the rebounds were like 50
Yeah.
in a game, and
Yeah.
then assists were like 20 something, which
Sure.
isn't that much if you look at some of the guys today, like Chris Paul and
Let's remember our sponsors.
Let's get it. Yes. All right. Before we keep going, let's remember our sponsors. Look at you.
Listen,
Look at you being a professional.
I try. I learn from the best.
Bastion of responsibility here.
All right. To our sponsors, InsurePhilly.com, the Matt Maloney Agency. Give Matt a call for all your insurance needs. Get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes. We got you covered. Keeping us hydrated, Pops McCann's fine whiskeys. Give Jason Fogg. Look him up on socials. I believe you can still order through the website, Pops McCann's Whiskey. He's got a nice spread of different whiskeys and bourbons now, plenty to choose from. So give Jason Fogg a call or look him up online for your whiskey needs. And tonight we had, like always, Mama Mia's pizzas. Tonight we had we threw in another one. Flan requested a pepper and green onion.
Excellent.
Or onion and green pepper. Pretty good. Pretty good. So as we get into the season, we're going to figure out something to do with Mama Mia's. Get some type of Santa special, Santa combo going for football games. But I got to reach out to Brendan about that.
We need to get them to make like a deep calzone or something, like duck meat and I don't know, something else in there. Yeah, he's Donald. Yeah, a little duck meat.
Liverwurst.
Yeah, there you go.
Liverwurst and onion
I was
stromboli.
going to say something else, but then we could put in maybe a bag of them.
That ain't right. That ain't right. All right, boys. Let's get into it. Let's get some sports talk.
Let's do it.
Phil's deadline.
Yeah.
There was a point in the day where we were like, Dombrowski's not doing anything. What does he have to do? What can he move? Nobody wanted to move prospects. Our prospects are worth their weight in gold. And towards the end of the day, movement started.
Did you really think he wasn't going to do anything?
I was just saying his history of deadlines as a GM is that
I didn't think he was going to do, and I thought he was going to do like a marginal move. Like he asked me about like the Sosa move. If that was it, I was going to be like, all right, that's it.
That's not his history. Anywhere he's gone, if you look at it, deadline is like Dombrowski time.
Yes.
Free agency and the deadline, which is what he delivered this year, right? He delivered Schwarber.
But that's why you brought him in here.
That's why I brought him in, right?
Yeah.
But like those moves that he made, like and I think we're all in agreement, right? Like I could give two shits about Hoppy. Like I'm not saying that. Listen, he could be good, right? But anybody could be good. How many times have we seen catchers in his system that were supposed to be great?
Jorge Alfaro was going to be the next.
Marson, when we went into Cliff Lee, that was the headliner deal. Like Hoppy had one good year, and you got a center fielder that's cheap for 5.5 years. That's going to, as far as I'm concerned, because Dombrowski's star hunting. That's going to get another star this offseason.
Well, more importantly, he can play defense as well.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's the bigger thing.
And
but you put a glove in between Castellanos and Schwarber, who are both limited in the field.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. You had Odubel out there losing fly balls in the outfield. I mean, I saw enough of that.
Yeah, I mean, Vierling probably was there. He was the
Vierling's serviceable. Listen, Vierling can stay on the squad.
Right, he could be a bench player.
He's a bench player. Yeah. But I think it was a good move.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. I mean, listen, if there's one thing that we found out this year is that we have a pretty damn good hitting coach that can fix players. Like, look at what he's done to Bohm swing. I mean, look what he did to Schwarber before he came because he was with Washington. But I think he'd do the same thing with Marsh. If you get 260 to 270 and a guy that plays good defense, you're winning in this lineup already, right? A guy that just can get on base.
And he's a young guy, right? He was the number one prospect in the Angels farm system
no problem with it.
Before he came up. He's played in the big leagues 2 years.
Looks like a king,
sometimes a change of scenery is good. And I can imagine, I said this to you guys when it happened. This lineup's a lot better than the Angels lineup. The Angels lineup has Ohtani and a bunch of holes. I mean, Rendon's been a disaster. Obviously, Trout's hurt. There's not really much to go by out there. So you do this. I just can't. I can't see any negatives there. And I heard people complaining about trading Moniak as well.
He had a home run today. Big freaking deal.
Big freaking deal. Who cares?
Wasn't going to play here again. No. Wasn't going to play.
And it wasn't going to work.
And I don't like the fact that people are like, "Oh, he wasn't given his chance." He damn well was given his chance. He's been brought up.
He's a first-round pick in 2017.
Right, and they try to save money then.
Right, but it's been a long time.
But what I'm saying is, there are people like he wasn't given a fair shake after he broke. All right, well, dude, he got hurt in spring training, and when he was here, he didn't produce. So we're win now mode. That's what people need to think about. And the other thing that I'm tired of hearing too is like, oh, JT's washed. JT's been very good.
His defense has been outstanding.
And his bat's been better.
He's still throwing out runners. Unbelievable.
He's washed. You don't need everybody in this lineup to mash.
His bat's been better since when? Like the last couple of weeks?
No, I would say
since they moved him into the 4-hole, he's been a lot better.
2 months, dude. He's been better.
2 months.
He's had 9 home runs, 50 RBIs almost?
But you've also, got to realize, I think people, when they look at catcher, they have this idea of like piazza bashing, right?
Yeah.
That's never been what Realmuto
He's
has
always
been
been
about.
like a 20 to 90 guy.
Right, 20-90 guy, and he's on pace for that. And he's hitting, what's he hitting, 260 now?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
and he still runs the base as well, and all the intangibles he brings, plus he controls his staff. You give him a good staff, he's deadly. This bullpen has been lights out.
Yeah.
And you've got to give him some credit for that, too.
The one move that I say that could, and I'm not even saying, because, potentially could be a good pickup. I do think the pitcher that the Cubs got, Ben Brown, is decent, but you have enough starters in this rotation, and Painter and Abel, you have to give them out. And Robertson shores up your bullpen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have no problem with that because, you can't worry about 3 or 4 years if Ben Brown becomes a 4 or 5 with the Cubs. That doesn't matter. Does anybody care what we gave up for Joe Blandon?
No, and you've got 4 guys now that have closed games.
Right.
So I like their chances in the playoffs.
And they got rid of Familia and they got rid of Herrera. So, and you're bringing back
Didi.
Harper. Well,
And
yeah,
Didi.
Didi. He made some good plays.
I got to ask you, though. You couldn't get rid of that hat at the deadline? I mean, what's going on there?
It's a new hat. I like it.
It is?
It's your Grateful Dead hat. It's your fish hat.
Yeah, I like it, man.
All right.
I didn't
know if that was a home John or I don't know if you did that yourself.
It goes with the Nikes.
When you first came in,
like the
I thought you
Nikes.
had
I don't know about
you had a rap on with a Grateful Dead rap. I seriously, I was like, I'm waiting for
They
the
were
waft,
in town
for the
last
waft
week.
of weed to come through the door when you came walking through.
They were in town last week. I heard the concert
were?
was outstanding. Yeah. Dead and Company, John Mayer.
Yeah, yeah.
They're really good.
I'm not
Maybe
a
the
dead.
front looks better.
I'm not a deadhead. I can't get into that.
The beard says otherwise, but all right.
Yeah. Talk about the prospects in the farm system. I feel like this team, it goes through cycles of our farm system sucks. We got nobody down there, and then we have all these great players, and we can't get rid of them. We don't want to get rid of them. It's the future. We don't have a great record of really bringing players up through our farm system. We've hit on a few here and there.
I
but
think the 2 pitchers they have are going to be.
You think Painter's going to be?
Well, if you look at Dombrowski's track record in Florida, in Detroit, and Boston, he brings guys up. I think Painter or Abel will be up in this rotation
next year.
At least
maybe.
one.
Okay.
And if not, McGarry, right?
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. There was not somebody like Paul Jaw, which came and believe I'm going to give this guy any airtime, but that idiot from WIP said last night, to give up Rendon, you got to give up Abel and Painter. Well, then hell no, I'm not giving him up. Rendon could be a free agent at the end of this year.
Well, that was the sticking point.
Right.
He's got an option for this year.
And
He's already hit his
I wouldn't even give it up either.
He's already hit his innings pitch, so he can opt out. But here's the thing.
Free agency.
You've got a organization that you brought in Dombrowski. They've made major it is to win now, but they've made major changes. They've shifted away from the analytics nonsense that Clintac was so married to, right? They've really changed the way they scout. They're investing in Latin America. So they're doing things different. It's going to take time. But if you look at what's on the team now, you have 2 starters that comprise your infield that are your homegrown prospects in Stott and Bohm. You can't overlook that. Your ace Nola is homegrown. Your bullpen, Sir Anthony, homegrown. So I don't think they're doing as poorly, and I think the guys that are coming up are contributing.
I think Boom's listen, I know a couple in the beginning of the year, people are like, get him out of here. I think Boom's figured it out. I think Boom's a good player.
I was on him without power, but that'll come. If he's driving the ball, the power will come. He's too big for it not to come.
And he's not going to be in the 3-hole when Harper comes back, but he's doing a serviceable job right now in the 3-hole.
Listen, I'd think about if you got to shake the lineup the way he's hitting. I'd think about putting him in the 1-hole. I'd really think about it.
I would hope Marsh could get there, but I don't know if he's good.
I don't know. He's batting 9th today, so we'll see.
You would hope Marsh can get the 1?
I mean, I think that would be
He's
got the speed to be in the 1-hole.
But if he figures out,
he's got to
make contact. Maybe next year.
I mean, I don't think Stott's lead off material, is he?
I don't know. You just can't tell with these guys. They're just.
I'd like to see.
You're watching them grow on the job.
Yeah.
Well, didn't we? The last time we were in here, and you weren't here that week, but we tried to figure out, and I don't know if we figured it out, Nate. When was the last time a leadoff hitter had the chance of leading the national lead in home runs as well? Because we started talking about Ricky Henderson. We thought, but he never led the league in home runs. No, and I think the most he hit was 28.
It was the dude from the Yankees, but
I forget his name.
Alfonso Soriano.
Yeah, Soriano.
Okay.
Soriano.
Yeah. Sirianna probably
38 home runs.
Well, Schwarber's going to crush that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just FYI, Hulu's crashing, so couldn't get you guys.
That's all right. I think it's 1. Well, it's 2-1. Thor gave up another home run.
I don't like the. Is it actually on Hulu tonight? What is it streaming on? I have no idea why.
Why you're gonna
I
say
don't
you don't
get
like
this.
the nickname Thor?
No,
No,
I don't
he's
like
gonna
the
say the streaming.
streaming for baseball. I don't.
I know you're not.
I don't like it
I'm
either.
waiting to see what the NFL is going to do with Amazon.
Yeah, and Apple, right? Didn't Apple get the Sunday ticket?
Did they? I
Yes.
know DirecTV lost their
Yeah,
package.
they did. They lost it. They've got
Apple
it.
TV has it?
Apple TV has it, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So I don't know. That's the future. But then you've got to do the whole. We just had this conversation last week. I haven't unplugged yet, right? I still have
Yeah, I'm
Verizon,
still there.
and I still kick myself every month. I get this $240 bill,
Yep.
and I'm like, what am I paying for? Then I talk to other people. They're like, well, we stream and we do this and we do that. Then I feel like I'm technologically challenged. I'm like, I think I could do that, but then I present it to the house, and they're all like, no, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, oh Jesus. So it just
my
goes on
friend
another month.
swears
and
by YouTube TV.
that was the recommendation I got. So
and I think when that started out, it was like $60 a month. I think now it's up to like
it's like 75.
100.
It
No,
might
I
be
think it went
75.
up. But you're still adding all the streaming services on top of it. Like, are you going to get rid of your Netflix and your Disney and your
Netflix is 10, but what is it, 10, 15 bucks?
I don't know. I steal my parents. Disney,
Oh.
Disney, I think is 12 a month.
Okay.
We got to deal with Hulu, but we don't have the Hulu Prime. I think Hulu's like $5 a month.
Right. Amazon
Amazon
free.
is
Well, yeah, it's
included
free
with your
because you're
Prime.
Prime, right?
Yeah,
And Apple TV, do you
have.
have
Apple
to
TV.
pay for that?
I don't know because
I feel like
they
an
give-
idiot
they
because
give
I
it
have
to you-
Apple and I've never signed on to Apple TV, but I have
They
iTunes.
give it to you for free for a certain amount of time, but then like I think when we signed on for T-Mobile, they gave us.
Is
Okay.
Red Zone
Apple
going to be
for-
free on Apple TV?
I don't know.
Is what
I don't
free?
know.
Is what
Red
free?
Zone going to be free on Apple TV?
I think Red Zone's a separate entity. Where Red Zone,
Oh.
you can still subscribe.
Oh,
Like I didn't have the Sunday ticket, but I had Red Zone. You get that through Verizon or Comcast.
Mm.
I think that's a separate entity. So that would be, I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see.
All right, we're
so
getting back to the trades. Back to
I
the
mean,
news.
so Robertson, right? Like,
Great move.
what do you? Yeah, Robertson's
Great
a great move. Like,
He's excited to be here. You heard he
Right.
asked for the
He's happy
ball.
to be back.
Syndergaard?
Yeah, look, these
I know
these
TJ
guys.
is not a big fan of Syndergaard, but like
But
he is an
you
upgrade.
need a 3 or a 4
Right,
right,
like,
now.
I was going to say, even if he's your 4,
He is-
Right.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
have to
five,
make it to
it's
the
better than
you
what-
have to make it to the playoffs. I'm
Yeah.
not saying he has to pitch in the playoffs. You might go Ranger as your 3 and go 3-man rotation. I would think that's probably what you're going to
Yeah.
do
Really?
until you
I
get
don't
into
know.
a 7-game
I think
series.
Syndergaard could be like a piece that they
He
keep.
could be. He's
Yeah,
pitched
but
in
But
the
he'd be
postseason.
long mid relief. Like you don't.
I think
you're not going to go more than 3 in the playoffs.
I think they'll probably keep him.
They probably will, but you got
Yeah.
you got to get there
If you
first.
well, he make it $21 million now, so they're not paying him the $21 million next year.
No, but he also wants to be here too. He was excited to get. He
I
got
mean,
here.
and you
hustled
saw the
and got
shit that
here.
he said about the Mets fans.
I did.
love it.
I
I
did.
He's
love
just
it.
got it. So he's going to be 30,
Yeah, which is
And-
not old.
but he's lost his. He doesn't have his fastball anymore. I think he tops out at like
no, but here's
94.
low
But
90s.
here's the
I don't know
thing.
if he's.
here's the thing people need to remember.
But that's a transition as a pitcher.
No,
That's what I was gonna
This is
say.
his first year back from Tommy John. Second year is when you get that velocity usually back. This is only his first year
Is it-
back from
okay.
Tommy John. So next year he could be throwing 96, 98 again.
So
History
you're
shows it
re-signing him
takes
then.
2 years.
You don't want him
I
as a
would
rental.
I would sign him as a 3-year, $15 million. Like
I'd see what he wants.
45.
I'd see what he wants.
But
Yeah.
yes, I think he still has a lot left. I think you got to give somebody another year back after Tommy John,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah. Plus, again, bad situation out there in LA. I mean, that was.
I mean, look at Wheeler's stats before he came here. They were good. They weren't as good.
Well,
as they
yeah,
were
but his
here.
velocity and the pitches he throws. I mean, that was always there.
Yeah.
That wasn't in
But
question.
I'm saying his stats, like he's
Yeah.
never been as dominant.
Yeah.
So, but
We'll
yeah,
see. I think it's a good move considering you didn't give up a lot for
Right.
either. You didn't really.
Right.
You didn't empty the cupboard. You have catching prospects. You have Ray Amuto.
Money next year. You
Yeah.
have your outfield set. Your only position that right now you don't know about. Well, I don't think
Middle
you don't-
infield. It's
Yeah.
either second or shortstop. Really,
No,
it depends on what you do.
But I don't think you're going to pay Segura. I don't think
It doesn't
you bring him
sound
back.
like it.
So then
Right. So you move Stott to second.
You,
You
have
sign
that
a shortstop.
Marsh, and you sign like a Trey Turner
You get Turner in.
or Swans. Yeah, whoever. One
Right.
of them.
Are they good enough to win right now?
If they listen, you've seen teams get in the playoffs and get hot. One thing I would tell you, if I was an opposing team, I wouldn't want to face this lineup if 2 to 3 of these guys are hot. Castellanos continues to hit. What's he hitting? I think it's
373 or 383 since the
Salisbury
Salisbury.
assistant.
yeah. So like if you get them hot and like Bohm's been hitting consistently, where's your hole in this lineup might be Marsh, but everybody else in this lineup can mash,
Oh yeah.
including Stott.
But that's the problem. You got a bunch of mashers. You need some hitters on there.
You do.
And so, if Bohm can be a hitter,
Bohm,
because you need to have guys on base.
Ray Muto's been hitting.
Listen,
Castellanos is more.
I was going to say
singles.
Castellanos leading the team in hits. I mean, all the criticism he's getting because there's not the
Hoskins
power
has been
numbers
doing
aren't
well.
there.
I know we're not big Hoskins, but I think I've kind
He
of.
gets on base.
I flipped the script. I think they're going to probably try to sign him this offseason.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. You got Hall too. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't think. See, dude,
I don't know.
Can hit one pitch. They only use him
right now, but he's also
not
young
Big
and
Keys
he's
junior. Like
no,
DJ.
I'm not saying that.
So you think Derek Hall could be their starting first?
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you no.
I think
I thought he would be in.
I think you've got to think about it because you've got to think about the future too. Schwarber eventually might have to play some first base. Realmuto might eventually have to play some first base. Are you going to dump a lot of money into a first baseman when you're already?
Hoskins can also DH.
I feel like you guys are already
Harper
like next year.
Yeah, you're right. And we don't need to be next year.
Yeah, everything you guys are
back
talking
to your
about
question.
I think.
Nate.
Do I think they can win this year?
Yes, I think they can win now.
Yes.
Yes,
because I can talk baseball just for so long, but at the same time, when I look at this team and I look at all the trades that everybody made, obviously the splash they paid with San Diego, I thought that the Phillies did the right things. They shored up what they needed to shore up,
yes,
and then they got better pitching. And then when you look at this run without Harper, to me,
and Segura,
and with the cold Castellanos,
and having a bullpen game every 5 days,
right? But if you look at this, we were, it's always been the bullpen, it's always been the pitching, but I feel like the arms have held the team up.
Yep.
Right? Like it's not been so much the bats, it's been the arms because not everybody's been hot. It kind of comes and goes. What was Schwarber's month? July or June?
He's been
a little bit of both.
Yeah,
a little bit of
both.
And
well, not a little bit, a lot of both, but yes.
But now Castellanos is supposedly, I think I heard that his best month in his career is always August.
Yes.
Yeah, he heats up toward the end.
It was Schwarber June, Bohm July, and now we're hoping Castellanos.
And then you got Harper.
August.
I just read Harper's eyeing September.
He's going to be back before that. He's swinging.
He's swinging, right?
2 weeks maybe at the most.
So my thought is just like, is this team built to win now and go deep? And if who don't you want to face?
I mean, they beat
I don't think you want to face the Braves until the NLCS. I think that's really
they've held their own with the Braves.
I look at the guys in the West. I don't want to
They-
face the Dodgers or the
They
Padres.
swept the
Padres aren't battle tested though. I don't worry about the Padres. I worry more about the Dodgers.
The Dodgers too.
Yeah.
We held our own with them before. We took 3 out of 4.
But do you worry about the Cardinals
but
or Milwaukee or even the Mets in the playoff? Mets got off to such a strong start. We'll see how the Mets go.
I would love to get the Mets. I think we'd be.
Mets have a lot of games against good teams left.
Yes.
I mean, they play a ton against the Braves. They're done playing the Nats, I believe. So they've kind of beaten up on the crap. The Phillies have the crap in the second half of the schedule.
But they got DeGrom back right at the right time, though.
They did.
He'll get hurt.
How did he do the other?
They did, but the Mets moved. They went and got but their move. They went and got Darren Ruff.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really do much. The Mets fans are besides themselves.
The Braves got the closer from the Angels.
Yep.
But he's also not been that good this year. So.
San Diego's looking to buy it. San Diego is not going to sign any of those guys long term. They're going to take Soto the next 2 years.
Oh, I don't know about that.
They don't have the money. They're not that type of organization. They're not. They got to pay. They got Machado there.
They're going to move Machado and keep Tatis. Machado has an out after 5 years. Machado is playing well enough that he's going to take the out. They're going to keep Soto.
They're going to
Machado probably.
Even if Machado leaves between Tatis and then Soto, if you sign him, that's like $700 million for 2 players.
I don't think you make that move without the intention of keeping them. They gave up a lot.
I know they did.
Well, they can keep him for 2 years, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got 2 years of arbitration with him, and then they'd have to pay him. That's what I'm saying. He's got the next 2 years. I don't think they're giving him the big contract he's looking for.
I mean, you see why the Angels dumped all these players because they're going to pay Ohtani whatever
they have to. Yeah.
Right, and
who knows if he wants to stay?
I know he's been. I know.
But there's certain teams that don't care about the luxury tax.
Well, we're starting to be like
and
that.
I don't think
San
Diego. I don't think San Diego's like that. I think San Diego's always been.
No, they're over the luxury tax with this.
But they're not going to continue to do it. I don't think they're going to.
They've been doing it the past 3 years. They've been spending money left and right. This Padres and making trades.
Either way, we'll see. I mean, I just don't think they make that move without keeping him. It just doesn't make sense, but we'll see.
Well, they got 2 years to see, right?
Yeah.
And you also got to see what Soto wants.
That's true.
I mean, he's a Boris Klein. He ain't signing early, right?
Yeah, he wants us. Well, by that time, what's it going to be, 550?
He might not even sign until free agency.
Who knows?
Was he 23, 24?
Yeah, 23.
That's insane.
He's going to get a 15-year deal. He might get.
I think it's all gotten crazy. Baseball's going to implode on itself sooner or later.
Well, Tony, they're talking about it's going to get $500 million.
Judge is due for a contract next year.
I don't think
it doesn't sound like the Yankees are going to pay him.
I don't think he's going to be at the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah, then where does he go?
Boston.
And what is
Oh,
no?
I mean,
that would be
That would be
tasty.
awesome.
I would enjoy that.
But if you think about it, teams that need something,
They
and
do
a
it.
jolt, they got the money. Who else?
I agree.
Dodgers. I mean, they don't really need them.
How much does
Mariners.
he get paid? Is he a 400?
He's going to get 400. That's why I think he could go to the Red Sox. 10 years, 400.
That
Some
would be,
team
that would
like
be,
to make a splash like Texas or somebody
Oh,
like that needs
that's
to get
true.
back
That's
on
true too.
gets it back on the radar of being a good
Yep.
team.
I mean, Anaheim's always a threat every year, even though they suck. They always sign guys to big money deals.
Yep.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot that he could do. I mean,
Who cares about him? Let's talk about the Phils again.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you brought him up.
I don't know if
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not. I don't know if I'm completely on board. I think they make the playoffs.
Are you saying they? I'm not saying they will, but are you saying they can't?
You think
It's a
that-
different statement.
Look at their lineup.
I know,
Who
but
they
it
gonna see in the
hasn't.
first round.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Probably the Mets.
If over
Or
the
the
if
Braves,
over the
right?
next
Yeah.
month everything starts to connect, and I hear you, the lineup, but it's been spotty hitting. It's starting to come around. We'll see how the new pitching, how that works out.
Look how they played since
they have
Thompson's
it
taken
set.
over, though.
I
You
know.
I
yeah.
mean, you can't discount that. It's
No,
not
no,
new
it's-
manager effect anymore, where it was a couple weeks. You're talking, we're 2.5 months into this.
I feel like it's the arms. Like I feel like they have. My thing has always been pitching. Like because I bet, right? I bet baseball.
Oh, you
And the-
bet? I
Oh,
didn't know.
absolutely.
Money pot
Money
bets.
pot.
Money pot?
Money pot?
That's sweet.
Money
You
pot.
bet?
Oh, give it a plug. Give it a plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. On Sundays, 10:30. Check it out. We had some good ones too. I actually, I don't know. You saw that? Yeah, actually, Jim, you made some money off that. The home run derby call.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then I
home
was
run.
following you while you were in Disney too. You're still working while you're in Disney. I was following some of your parlays you were throwing out there.
You actually paid for maybe your daughter's college tuition.
I wish.
But I look at pitching and I'm just thinking like their bullpen is good, right?
Excellent.
Like our bullpen is legit.
With getting rid of Familia and adding
Robertson. It's
Robertson,
Gonna be,
it could be the best bullpen in baseball.
See, like
Yes, and I
like
don't
in
say
the
that
beginning of
lightly.
the year,
Could
that
be.
was the
words.
problem, and now you're talking about that this is the best bull. Like, how do we not run like deep? Like,
Yeah.
like what is like? I'm about to look it up. What is this World Series odds, or just to win the NL pennant?
It had to have increased in the last.
They're probably like, I would say 6 in the National League, right? In the odds.
But you figure
5?
10-1.
So what
to win the league or win the.
No, the win. The
What
pennant.
series is tough, but the NL pennant. I'm about to look it up right now.
I mean, the Dodgers have a history of choking a lot. I know they won the World Series, but they have a history of choking.
I know
They also have a history of turning
And
it
the
on when it comes to the
Braves-
I
playoffs.
know they won the World
Braves-
Series.
The Braves, to me, like, I don't know.
Braves are tough.
They are tough, but I think they miss Freeman come playoff time. They don't have.
Maybe.
Phillies have a good of a chance as anybody because you have Wheeler and Noah.
Yeah, that's
And a great bullpen.
And that bullpen, yeah.
And Harper, Castellanos, Remuto. Like,
if
So they're
if
40 to
all
1 right now
connecting.
40-1.
to win the whole thing.
what are they to
Wow.
win the NL?
To win the NL, they are 16 to 1.
Wow.
Plus
Oh.
1,600. So tops in the NLs, obviously, like you guys said, the Dodgers, the Mets are plus 300, the Braves are plus 475, the Padres are plus 550, Milwaukee's plus 1,000, and the Phillies are sitting at plus 16 to 1.
Listen,
Might have to put up a few rubles on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it's a decent enough bet.
I mean, there's a if you look back in the history of baseball playoffs, there's a wild card team that nobody expects that usually makes a run almost every year. History tells you that.
It
And
does.
you got 2 wild cards now, right?
No, but
No.
I'm
They only
saying
had
like
one.
they're usually the
No, you got
one
three.
of the teams that comes out of the
There's
league.
3 wild cards now?
Nobody
Yeah.
expected.
That's why you're looking at what you're looking at.
Nobody
So 3
expects
wild cards.
usually.
That's why the Phillies, Mets, and Braves
Like-
could
Right.
probably make.
Nobody usually
the
expects
playoffs,
one
yes.
team to come out.
Yeah, I mean
It happens
that's every
every year.
sport. Like there's somebody that sneaks in.
No,
and-
but every year.
I think
you
it's
look-
become more prevalent in baseball.
Yes.
Though. It used to be, yeah, but
I
the
mean,
setup was different. So
yeah.
yeah,
I listen. All it takes is Wheeler and Noah to like.
Has Nola really been that bad? I feel like every time I see him on the
No,
mound,
I don't
he's
he
think
got,
just
has
doesn't
this
get a
year.
lot of
he doesn't get
hitting
the love he
support.
deserves. I
No,
agree with
but
this.
Suarez is decent. Like Suarez has been really good lately.
Yep.
like he's getting 8 strikeouts.
If
like
you
every
get
game.
5 or 6 from Noah now with this bullpen, you're pretty in good shape come playoff time.
Give me 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you get 6, though, I'm talking about you still have Han Dominguez.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to use his name, but what's his name?
Knebel.
He's been pitching good.
He has been. Yeah.
No,
Alvarado.
he hit it the other night. Didn't he give up 4 runs the other night? In
that was
in that
Familia.
13.
No, that was Familia.
I think he got tagged.
Familia.
'cause
Knebel
That was
I
didn't
looked
get
at the
tagged.
box score.
It's
He
familiar.
didn't get tagged. I know for a fact he didn't get tagged.
All right. But yeah, and Alvarado. Yeah, you got a nice bullpen. I agree.
Like even the guys like Bellini, like they've all been good. That's the craziest part about it.
Yep. Listen. I like their odds. I like what they're doing.
Just gotta.
I think we're going to see
just
some.
gotta get in.
We're going to see some bunting, right? We'll see some bunting hanging from the stadium.
At the plate or
bunting in the stadium. Bunting hanging from the rafters.
And then we're talking like Harper's not coming back.
He
I
got
know
tagged
it's
for
hurt.
5 earned
Our
runs.
boy Marsh got on base first.
Don't question me. He got tagged for 5 earned runs against the Braves the other night.
Who?
Knebel.
Oh, in the 13-1 game.
That's what I
I
said.
said no pressure. In
Yeah.
the pressure situations. Remember the other game he had?
I did turn that off. I mean, once it was
Yeah,
7-1, I kind of shut it off. So,
How about
all
our
right.
boy Marsh, dude? Gets on base, Schwarber's up, doing his job.
All right. Well, people aren't tuning in for play-by-play.
Listen, I am.
All right. Do we want to take a break here and then start talking Eagles?
Oh man.
Is it a good time for a break? Feels like a good time for a break.
Talk Brittany Griner too.
We'll get it. You want to do that now?
Nah, we could do that after the break.
Okay. All right. We'll take the break and then we'll go into the extended second half.
There you go.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Say the Boot First podcast. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. InsurePhilly.com. We comparison shop all the time. Can I get this cheaper on Amazon? What will the store brand save me? Should I get a second estimate on this remodel? So why not do that for your insurance needs? Better yet, why not have someone comparison shop for you? At InsurePhilly.com, you can get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes with top insurance carriers like Progressive, Travelers, Nationwide, Selective, Liberty Mutual, Encompass, Kemper, and Berkshire Hathaway. Owner agent Matt Maloney provides top national carriers with top local service. Just go to InsurePhilly.com to get your quote online or call Matt at 215-300-9590. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, business, and Medicare insurance plans, make sure to go to InsurePhilly.com today or call 215-300-9590. Matt Maloney gives you the national carriers you recognize from a local company you can trust. InsurePhilly.com. We are back. Thanks for hanging through the break there with us on the Santa Boot First podcast. Thanks for our sponsor, InsurePhilly.com. Give Matt Maloney a call for all your insurance needs. Get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes. All right, so
Who's chirping at us? by the
thanks,
way?
Joe White. He sees my Arcadia hat, my Albright shirt, repping the schools for the kids. Thanks for catching on there, Joe.
They gave those to you for free for
I had to
tuition payment,
purchase. Come on, shit!
Really?
I better get my name on the stadium for the tuition prices.
Oh damn. There you go.
What? Oh, the
Get your
tuition
name on the
price. I
stadium.
said that to Ryan
Marcus-
too.
there
you
go.
wait,
But I
Smitty.
made-
You're starting late, dude. By the time you're
dude.
paying tuition, community college Philadelphia is going to be $50K a semester.
Dude, I got
Good luck, dude.
I got my basement just to throw in.
Yeah,
for
there you go.
tuition.
All those Jalen Hurts signed autographs.
Yeah,
on there.
right. You're sitting on your
Yeah,
college.
there you
You're sitting on your college.
He
funds
thinks
right
it's
there.
crypto. It's just Jalen Hurts.
go. I got plenty of
The crypto hasn't been doing too well either.
Yeah, Wood has.
Humble. Oh God. Let's not get into stock talk.
No.
Oh, it's killing me. All right. Anyway, before we get into the Eagles talk, so we chatted a little bit.
We did.
Before we came in here on the Brittany Griner thing.
Yes.
I said boohoo. Right, she's getting 9 years. My thing was a couple weeks ago when they were going to do the trade. They were going to trade a known arms dealer
Yes.
back to Russia for a basketball player.
Here's the other thing too. There's so many families, even like the story. Somebody shared it. I forget who it was. Somebody
And a reporter who's been
Yeah,
captive since
like-
2019. Yes.
like I can't keep going back to this. I know you kind of corrected me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like if it was us that were in there,
Right.
would anybody give a shit about us?
No.
It's only because she's a basketball player. And I agree it's a political power play. But if I'm a family member of a reporter or somebody who's been there for years, if you think about this, just think about this logically.
Yes.
How are you going to take that if they're like, oh, we're not worried about your family member. We're going for the star basketball player. Right or wrong?
I mean, it's kind of the way it goes, unfortunately. It's the world we live in.
Is it right?
No, it's not right. But think
all.
of it this way, though, too. I flip it the other way. With Russia, if you snuck in and had a little bit of weed in a cartridge and you got busted, would you be facing 9 years, Ryan Smitty?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It depends what they think.
In Russia,
they thought I was a good ball.
I understand them arresting her, I say to her, "You're a dumbass." Listen, I've been to foreign countries. We were in Aruba recently, and they tell you down there, do not mess around with marijuana.
Did you smuggle?
No, but they said don't.
Not that he's going to admit.
They said if you're American, don't buy it, don't smoke it.
Yeah,
it's illegal. Right? They don't mess around. Right? Get as drunk as you want. Be stupid. So she's been to Russia enough. She's been going there, and it's a shame these WNBA players have to go there to make a living because the league, and that's the league's fault. I don't think that's a sexist thing, but it is a political statement, right? No one else would be facing 9 years.
I agree.
That's the outrageous part.
I agree with you.
And all the people and all these patriots that are, look, she didn't stand for the anthem. Listen, I don't like that she didn't stand for it, but I'll support her in doing so because I believe it's her right as an American. So I don't care about that.
Yeah, that doesn't play into me for me at all. To me, it's like you said, she's been there so many times. You know better.
Yes.
You know better. You made the mistake. And now the whole trade thing is like, that's not a fair trade, right? If you just look at a straight up trade, we're trading an arms dealer for, now she's not making as much as the NBA players, but I'm sure she can find herself some nice representation or find one of the back ways out of there. Like,
dude, if I'm Al Qaeda, I'm sending the homies to Brentwood and capturing LeBron after this trade. I mean, holy shit. You'd release all of Gitmo and then some.
Christ. I mean, you know how bad Russia is.
That was the thing I was thinking. Like 9 years is a long time.
It is.
It's terrible.
For weed. It's totally ridiculous.
That's where my heart bleeds for her, right?
You're
9
going
years
into a foreign country, and they're like, it's a political thing, right? They're trying to stick it to them. And I feel for her there, but
yes, I do feel for her there.
It's such a backwards country that she can find enough money to pay some official off, and she'll walk.
Well, I think part of it too. I think I was reading something today where they said that she kind of shamed them by her initial stance was she tried to say it was hashish oil, which is crap, right? Like we all know it. She's smoking weed, right? No fault of her. I don't really care.
I mean, she could have been using the oil, like like the
CBD stuff.
She's vaping.
What happens if she's using it as like the
oil
because she's stressed?
That's the problem. She tried to present that. It's almost like you get caught in school doing something and you give them the BS lie, right? I'm sure you get it all the time. Kids smoking in the bathroom. It's not mine, whatever.
I'm here to say
the punishment's worse, right? You let them all smoke and you smoke with them, right?
No, I'm not saying that, but I don't always assume the worst intentions.
I got you. I just don't know what you do here, right? And I think
I wouldn't give up a big arms person.
No, I wouldn't either.
But they're going to.
Why did they show their cards that early?
It's
like, first of all, I thought we don't negotiate with terrorists as a country.
Yeah,
we don't prison swap.
Basically, Joe Biden's the Matt Clintex of GM.
He might be on this
and
one.
Negotiating, right?
But why not come out when this happened and say, you know what? Line in the sand here. This is bullshit. You're not going to get away with this. If you don't release her, you will deal with repercussions. That should be our stance. You will deal with repercussions.
Why should we all of a sudden take a stance for her, but we haven't taken it for anybody else?
Well, I agree. Listen, we don't take a stance. How many people are in prison in this country for marijuana? How many? Yeah. I'm not a bleeding heart liberal, but there are people in jail for selling dime bags and nicks and nickel bags for years in prison.
Go over with like physical force and get her.
I don't think we've shown the resolve to do that. We haven't stopped Ukraine. We've let Afghanistan. All right, this is turning too far political.
I wouldn't give up like a big arms person and then back.
So would you give off somebody selling slingshots, just not missiles? I don't know.
It's like nonviolent.
I'll give up Gardner Minshew over there. All right, how about that? That'll lead us into our next topic.
I just think 9 years is way too harsh.
It's a nonviolent crime. And trade for another nonviolent.
If they would have listened,
political power play.
Pounds and bricks.
Yeah, right. She wasn't. Who was it?
Listen,
Bam
Margera. Yeah.
No, the football player for the Steelers that was riding around with Bam Marsh, riding around with like 20 pounds of coke in the back of his
We're
car.
talking about like a vape pen now. But, I mean, I didn't read really much into it, but I think you both have solid points on both sides of the thing. You have to look at it from both ways. And then I think, Flan, you said something like, when you look at the full scope, like there's people in jail still doing time for selling marijuana.
Yes.
Yeah.
People
For sure.
out making businesses and billions of dollars off it at the same time.
Yeah, well, and those people can make money as long as they pay the government first, which is hypocritical
Right.
in and of
Because the
itself.
government all of a sudden, it's legal now, so everything's good.
Yes.
So,
But
There's no
I think-
reasonable standard. Right?
No, but if they had said, you know what, it's against the law in our country, she's going to spend 60 days in jail or something, I'd say, all right, let her do her punishment, then get a plane over there, bring her home. 9 years? Man.
Yeah.
maybe a year, I thought.
Look,
Even
I'll
that's
even say that.
excessive, but
I'll
I
say
hear
that's
you.
a bit much too.
Maybe a year, even a year is excessive, but 9
It's crazy.
is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you compound it because you went to another country and
Yeah,
whatever.
9 is
But
ridiculous. And I
9
think she's
is
gonna serve it,
9
honestly.
is way too much. No, I don't think she's either. No.
I hope she doesn't.
I think she's gonna serve it. I
Flexing
don't
that
think they're gonna
power.
get
You
her
think she's going to stay there the full 9 years?
No, I think they're going to give
think
Rush
so.
whatever they want, and it's going to be like a what?
Can we do like they do it in Air Force One, where they release the general, we get freed, and then we shoot the guy? Can we do that? Right.
I
You
don't
know,
think he's going to be able to get her. I just don't think. And
They already did convict her.
No, like I don't think.
Oh, you think she's going to stay there for 9.5 years?
I think she's going to be there for some time. I think she's going to be there for now. I don't think they're going to be able to get her, and I think
Then
that
if they don't get her, I think then they'll go over with.
if
Well-
not, Biden's going to ask, and this is just kind of my thought and just my opinion. Biden's going to ask for probably like the black vote. That's how he got in there already. Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't
Like,
know
you
that.
guys don't.
All right.
you guys-
All right.
No,
Okay.
but I'm serious. You guys didn't see him in his campaign
Three-run bomb.
on some of the like radio stations and stuff.
Yeah, no,
I saw-
like, some of the
trust
things
me,
he
I'm
said.
just not.
Some of his
You know what
Nate, some of his pandering was,
Like,
if you don't
I'm just
vote for
being
me,
honest.
if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I heard that one, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of other ones
There's a
where
lot
it's
of other ones.
ridiculous.
He needs, like, I'm just being honest. He needs
Yeah.
the black vote to win the presidency.
Does
He
Brett? Does Brittany Griner though get him the black vote, considering the state of the economy,
If LeBron,
inflation?
if a bunch of these people get in there,
LeBron gets involved,
they're
in
all
the
going to get
background,
involved.
That's a
That's
good point.
That's what I was
Like,
just going to say.
That's what I'm saying. That's the political move behind the scenes. Oh, you want us to help, or LeBron? Because I think LeBron has already come out and said that he's had some of his representation trying to find out what's going on and how he can assist. Well, you want to assist, you help us. Start pushing our agenda and saying that you support Joe Biden or something like that. Like that's, and LeBron's got LeBron, like people, you guys talked about before. LeBron is a GOAT on the court, and we all think Jordan's better, and Jordan is the true. No,
If Jordan
discussion,
gets
number
involved.
one. But off the court, nobody's even close to LeBron.
The power that LeBron
Maybe
yields is close to Soros, Oprah.
I'm
Like
ready to-
there's some.
I would have
big
said Rodman over there. He helped the relations with Korea. It said Rodman over there.
Get him hang out with Putin.
Oh, man.
He'd probably give Putin a titty twister. We'd have real problems.
all right.
Eagles.
You want to get the training camp?
Eagles.
We could stay on the hypocritical theme and go to the NFL and Deshaun Watson and all that. Or do we want to
Jesus.
talk Eagles first?
What a mess. That dude should get the
I
death penalty.
I think we need to go there first because,
Death penalty.
I mean,
Death penalty.
Death penalty.
what,
Yes.
Sean?
Death penalty from the NFL. Yes.
Never play again.
Yep.
I agree. I agree.
Wow,
with you,
you're
but
going.
here's the
You're
one.
going extreme.
Dude, look
Okay.
what he did.
24 accusers, dude.
24 accusers, but these are marginalized women. These are women that are in bad positions.
And they all got paid now.
They all
So
got
that's-
paid,
right.
but he also took extreme advantage of this. Shopping around for masseuses. There's no, the guy's a sociopath. Then I see him on the field. He's done no rehabilitation, admitted no wrongs,
he doesn't
but
care.
then he's getting on the field and he's blessing himself and pointing to God. This guy's full of shit. He
But
needs
you
to pay a
want-
penny.
but hold on, but you wanted him.
I like his talent.
That's why I was surprised.
But-
though. That
but
took me back.
But what I was saying, and it's what I expected. I didn't
you
think
thought
that.
he was going to get a slap on the wrist, so why not?
Yeah,
the
and they
Eagles?
did.
Because we're classy.
No, we're not. He just didn't want to come here because he's boys with Hurts. He said that.
Yeah, he wasn't going to come here because it hurts.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it.
But here's the thing that I'll say
But
to you.
I thought the 6. I actually thought he'd get 4. I thought he'd get less.
Dude,
Yeah. But I still don't think it's enough.
He didn't get convicted of anything.
Come on.
He didn't.
He didn't.
Come on.
But
Dude,
the
there's
settlement,
so much evidence.
and I think that's
What
where,
evidence, Smitty? What evidence was presented? And not even that. Listen to this. There was a woman judge that gave him the
Yeah,
sentence.
I wouldn't be
I'd
surprised
be
if she was paid
careful with
off.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can just say because it's a woman. You've got conservative judges, you've got liberal judges that are women in this country.
You also got
You've
judges
got
that
women-
are trying to make a name for themselves.
Right,
get
but you've
reelected.
got women that have voted on both sides of every issue, even on the Supreme Court.
Nate,
So
Nate,
I-
come on. Nate, I could understand if it was 4 accusers that you would sit there and say, dude, there's 24.
that's my issue with it.
Come
Right?
on, Nate.
If there
I'm
were
gonna
2
go-
or 3, I'd say money. But when they all corroborate the story,
24?
I'm not saying he wasn't out doing things.
He was.
I'm not. But what I'm saying is they couldn't find any evidence
no,
that
that's-
said he did. It's really just a bunch of.
Accusers' words is evidence as far as I'm concerned.
No, it's not.
They're not all making it up, Nate. That's the problem with why I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this too, and I know it's like that's the problem why women don't want to come out about things because right away they're like, "Oh, you don't believe."
but
me.
the NFL,
24 people.
but the NFL, right? The NFL also has a history of turning
Over
a blind
and out.
eye, right?
For sure.
Robert Kraft got a slap on the wrist for basically
That's what I
embarrassing
mean.
the Shield.
Honestly,
Yeah, because
You see
that's
the
where
picture with Jerry Jones.
that's where the
my
money
God.
is.
Jerry
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah,
Kareem
that's-
Hunt,
But
if
Jerry
the
Jones
league
didn't do
see
anything
video.
illegal, just distasteful.
So
Look at Roethlisberger. What happened
What
there?
do you get? 3 games?
3 games.
Yeah.
And what he did was way worse.
I agree.
If you want to talk about
So
it, like
wait.
he tried to coerce these girls into, favors and
So
whatever,
let me
which is
ask you
terrible.
this.
Roethlisberger
Actually did it.
He raped
Do
somebody.
you
He
think
actually
the,
did
do you
it.
think
Yes.
Do you think the league's going to win the appeal? I think they're going to get a year.
Oh, I
They
think
want
this
a
is-
year.
I think the NFL is going to have a bloodbath because the Players Association is going to sue the league, and then we're going to have.
Oh, lock.
But you did this.
Well,
But
that's-
you did that.
Oh, are the emails
When it-
all going to come out about
The
Gruden?
emails are going to come. Oh, you wait.
Oh man.
I think so. I
yeah,
think
you're
it's
going
going
to see
They
they're
had to do it to save
protecting.
face.
They're
They had-
protecting the owners.
Yeah, they
Well,
had
I
to
said
do
it was a
to
good
save face.
PR move by the league, but they're hypocrites because you're going to suspend
Yeah,
Calvin Ridley. for
just like
betting.
you said, all the owner stuff
Yep.
that has happened.
Oh, yeah.
it'll be they're
Daniel
waiting to
Snyder,
pull
all that
card.
stuff's coming
Yep.
out too. I
They're
agree.
waiting-
Yeah.
And there's like you talking about evidence. Like
Yep.
there's video evidence.
There's video. There's emails. There's text.
emails, there's stuff like
Yeah.
Nate, all I'm saying is I bet you there's a lot of evidence that we'll never see that was presented, and Watson's team was like, "Look, dude, what check do we need to cut this now?"
Look, when you
I mean, because why
when you
would-
settle
here's the thing,
something,
hold
when
on.
you settle something,
You're
that's
admitting guilt.
admitting
Thank you.
not necessarily guilt. You're admitting that
Dude.
you're unsure and you just want it to go away.
I'm very.
Oh,
well, did you
you-
see one of the
When
accusers?
you're-
I'm
So
telling you, it's my
Do you think
it's my
he's
area. Like
don't
that's
think-
what happens if you settle with somebody. It's like, look,
Do you think he's
I'm
admitting
not
guilt?
saying
I
I'm
do.
wrong.
do I think what?
He admitted guilt by paying off everybody.
Sure.
That's my point.
I'm
I know
telling you,
what
like
you're saying.
technically, it's. I'm not
I know
saying
what
I
you're
did
saying.
something wrong. I'm saying
Maybe I did, and I want.
if you dig
I wanted
enough,
to go
maybe
away.
I'll be uncomfortable and I could be seen to be doing something wrong. So I'm just going to give you money to go away.
I found
All
it very.
right,
I
that's
found
fair.
it very interesting today
That's
that
fair.
one of the accusers and one of the women that settled with him actually came out and spoke about this because usually there's an NDA when you do these
Yeah.
And what
things.
did she say?
Settle-
So
Yeah.
she may be risking exposure herself,
Good for
breaking her NDA. Right, but that's how strongly she felt about it.
Yeah.
So I can't see how the NFL sits on this. But again, I think it turns into a total
what did she
bleep show.
say?
She said it was a disgrace, and she said the NFL is sending a signal that they don't care about women. They don't care about women, in marginalized positions. They don't care about minority women because that's who he preyed on. A lot of them were immigrants. So it's really a bad look. I think she was Hispanic. So really a bad look for the league. Like terrible look.
So I'm going to say, Nate, with the judge thing, and I'm going to make a really big leap that just stay with me here with the whole Roe v. Wade stuff. I think she read the collective bargaining agreement and said, the way this reads, this was a non-violent act. The most I can give him
Yes,
is 6.
probably.
And like I'm saying, the Roe versus Wade stuff, it's again a huge jump. Is Supreme Court said, I don't see this anywhere in the Constitution. I'm cleaning my hands. So the judge said, the most I could give him is 6.
Based
I'm
on
wiping my hands.
precedent of what they've
I'm
done
pushing
before.
it down now
Sure.
to Goodell.
Yep.
I'm pushing it down to the states.
Which is not what
To
Goodell
make
wanted.
up their-
Goodell wanted the court to do his dirty work.
Yeah. Well, Goodell, if she would have come back and said 0, then Goodell couldn't have done anything.
I mean,
Correct.
The fact
let me
that
ask you this.
she
Correct.
gave a suspension at all
Right.
gives
Puts
him
in
the
a
right
position,
to
yes.
appeal and ask for
If
more.
he didn't have a ton of money, if he was just a rookie quarterback coming out, does he get away with this, or do all these girls say no? We're going to expose you.
I don't think you have that many girls because you don't got no money.
That's true.
Yeah, he's probably not
That's
have the
a
money to go get all these masseuses.
No. To Nate's point,
The
that,
Houston Texans paid for these masseuses.
no. But But
No,
that
not all.
no.
They said
No,
Cleveland
they
said-
have their own masseuses.
But they were.
He decided to go on this rotating trip looking for different ones. They talked to Watt and some other ones who said we use the same people all the time.
Didn't they pay him? They
I-
paid for him.
I don't believe so.
I
No.
think they did. That's
Okay.
why the Texans. But either way,
Regardless, I think
If he's just a
Nate's
regular
but Nate's
Joe,
point,
like
it's
us-
also a crime of privilege. He's got all that money, he can do it. Rookie quarterback, you
Like,
I don't-
if
I
you're
don't
a
think
first
you do.
round
about, like
quarterback.
we looked so much at him, but think about the integrity of the women too.
I'm
They're
not-
taking the check. They're taking the check.
I agree.
well,
with
they've
you,
also
Yeah,
But they've
But
also.
if they're in a-
they've also
imagine
been
a trauma.
traumatized.
Exactly.
Yes.
Imagine a trauma.
You
and
may-
they know that nobody's going to believe them, and that's why women
What do you
don't
mean
want to come
nobody's
out.
going to believe it?
Nate, not only that, but listen, if you're a massage, there are legit massage therapists, right? People go to school for exercise, they go to school for physiology. But let's say this is your career and you go to school for this. And this guy did this when you're trying to run a legitimate business. You know, he tries to assault you. Are you going to want to go back to that job? That's hard. So you may have taken a living away from these people who are, you know, maybe they don't have other skills. I don't know. I don't know their backgrounds.
I'm not
but-
disagreeing with you,
I don't blame them for they'd have
but
to take a step.
everyone is take the check, not just like one or two.
How
saying
much
no.
money you think they're getting? Would you take the check? Come on.
I think they're getting a lot based on what he just got paid. I'm sure. Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Probably getting about close to $1 million.
Yeah, they're getting
I'm-
more than a mil. They're
Look,
getting more than a mil.
these lawyers can be very persuasive, and they're probably telling these women
This is your
this
chance.
isn't going to go any further.
Or
you take this check now, or you wait it out, and maybe like you said, Flan, you don't have a job for years because you're
Yep.
traumatized and you can't do this.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, maybe you get paid out, but you're not going to get this, and you're going to go through this for 5-6 years, and people are going to question your integrity
Yep.
and drag your family
Right.
and take the check.
I'm going to go a step further and say, if they don't take the money, everything's going to be released. So if there was conversations between them and those we're basically, you're going to look bad. Dude, you know how scummy people are these days. I'm sorry, and I think we're all in agreement here as, fathers is I don't care. I don't care how good Deshaun Watson is. I don't care even if he could win an Eagles Super Bowl. I would never want this guy anywhere near our team.
Yeah.
I could not stand for that in the job that I'm in currently right now, seeing a lot of the trauma that kids face and the sexual assaults and the sexual abuse. To have a guy like that be the face of my franchise, I couldn't do it. I'm not selling my soul to have a good quarterback, is what I'm trying to say to you.
It's just tough because look at Cosby, right? 70, 60 years later.
Sure.
Somebody said, "Oh, he raped me in this."
Yeah.
No proof,
Uh,
but he goes to jail
well,
for a
wait,
year. But
Wait,
and I'm not
wait,
saying
wait,
I don't
wait,
believe.
wait,
I mean,
wait.
I think he did.
Cosby was also convicted
of drugs.
of
Drug-
crimes based on evidence. There is you said there
What
was no
evidence 50 years later.
it wasn't even if it was 30 years later, but he was still convicted by a jury of his peers in a criminal court. There is a difference. Like you said, Watson, evidence kind of lacking, criminal charges dropped. It is a different story. It's a civil lawsuit, but Bill Cosby was convicted in a criminal court.
I still don't.
And I loved Bill Cosby. Don't get me wrong.
I do too.
I just still don't. There was no evidence there. It was a bunch of people saying he did this.
I don't know about that one, Nate.
I mean, can you tell me what evidence was in that case?
I'm not a defense attorney or a prosecutor on that case. And
Okay.
I didn't read it all that close, but I'm assuming if you can't cite the evidence, you didn't read it all that close either, because
No, I can't.
I didn't look at it.
I didn't look at it at all.
Yeah.
right. So you're making a
So here's my difference.
presumptive statement.
And you know what else gets annoyed, and nobody's ever said this, but when I say I don't want Watson, people will be like, all right, well, you were okay with Vic. Vic did his time, served his thing,
Sure he did.
paid his life, and I mean, sure, what Vic did was scummy. Don't get me wrong. I actually just watched the documentary the other night. It was horrible, but one thing that I could say about Vic, and I hope Deshaun Watson, if he does do this, I hope he is able to rehabilitate himself. But Vic has done everything right, given a second chance. What I agree with Jim about,
Except kicked his brother off of Twitter. But anyway,
Who gives a shit? But here's one thing that I will agree with 100% on Jim, and I'm glad that you said this, is like his attitude and the way he carries himself shows no remorse. He acts like a complete jackass at camp. Yeah. He acts like he's the shit. He acts like he's untouchable. And in this case, I agree with you. Like, I want somebody to be like, oh, you thought you were just going to get this $350 million, whatever guarantee, whatever the Browns gave him. You thought you were just going to walk. No, here we go.
But again, this is where Goodell should have dropped the hammer.
He should have.
Because you're going to face a lawsuit either way. Right. So he should have just outright said season, suspend him, and then deal with it. And say you're not going, whatever you're going to give him.
Why not, like they did with Vic? What was it?
It was a ban.
Indefinite.
Right.
That's what I would have done. Until you do X, Y, and Z.
What I read is he's looking for indefinite, at least a year, substantial fines, and counseling. This whole thing, where this is going to be an issue is the next time the collective bargaining agreement's up.
The Players Association, like he said, they're going to fight.
It's going to be because it's so disparate. Like, come out. You know,
he's
like
not
you said,
the only one who does this. Like, let's be honest.
Nobody's
saying that.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: you get caught, right?
Nate, I think that's part of the laundry that I think is going to come out. You're going to hear.
Let's be honest. You think Vic was the only one that was doing that dogfighting? There's other people, I guarantee you, that were involved in that.
Yep.
Probably from Atlanta too.
So,
Vic
from
was
the Falcons,
of the like he's from deep.
Yeah, that's what he was.
I agree.
Yeah, that's his.
But I agree with you. Is there guys out there that are like sexually assaulting women and getting massages and getting more? 100%. There's probably somebody on the Eagles that does it. Every organization probably.
There's regular.
My guess would be made a lot of shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
There's a whole religion that does it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just he got caught.
The Mormons.
But here's what my point is. All right, we're talking players. We've also mentioned owners. When this collective bargaining agreement comes up, it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be a complete shit show.
It's going to be
because
you
got
the Gruden stuff.
You got to get rid of the weed stuff.
Well,
like you can't be suspending people for weed anymore.
No, Gruden's out of the league.
No, Gruden's suing the league.
Yes.
So
but all of that's going to come out in Discovery. Oh yeah.
And like, you don't think that all the emails that were sent back and forth, Gruden, and there's other guaranteed there's other coaches in the league
saying
racist,
awful things. Yes.
You're going to have to figure out what's the equivalent punishment for an owner versus a player. A player, we say you don't play for a year, you lose your salary for the year. An owner, like you just saw the shit that happened in Miami, you lose a first round.
Well, I don't think the NFL has any stones. If you look at the NBA,
that's what I'm saying. The NBA, are they going to do it?
Well, the NBA, I mean, you look at Donald Sterling with the Clippers.
They made him sell.
They made him sell the team. Yeah. And I think the NBA has been very
well. The NFL did that with the guy down in Carolina,
Jerry Richardson.
Yeah, they made him.
They did, but I think the NBA does a really good job of policing itself, right? Everybody gives the NBA crap, and I hope it's passed, right? It started with Iverson because he didn't look the part and didn't dress the part,
wear the suits.
And there was a racial tinge to it. But I feel like the NBA does the right thing in policing its players and keeping things in check. The NFL's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL's a joke. Even, again, I'm no bleeding heart lid, but the minority hiring issue, they still have never really addressed it. It's a bunch of bullshit. You got a player, a league that's 80% black. You have like 2 black coaches.
Yeah, I don't like that with the NFL either. That the whole law, because like you,
but they don't fix anything.
They don't. Like, look at the guy from the Chiefs. The fact that he still doesn't have a job is ridiculous.
The enemy, yeah,
ridiculous.
Although McCoy did rip him, so I don't know. Maybe there's something with Bieniemy, but there are others. That have not gotten opportunity.
Flores, he was like the crown jewel. Like everybody, he was going to be the next big offensive coordinator, next head coach. The guy lasted a year and he didn't get another job. Because of all the bullshit that's going on now. And how about Belichick? That guy is such a dirty rat.
He's awesome.
Such a dirty rat.
Awesome. I mean,
you can't tell me that he didn't do that on purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, wrong Brian.
Absolutely he did.
Of course he did.
He's taking down the league, hurting the team in his division.
When
he knows
retires,
what he's doing.
I think he's going to spill more beans.
I don't think he's going to say anything. He's a vault, dude.
He retires.
He's worried about his legacy.
Paid more money than he's ever earned as a coach to write a book.
I don't think he'll do any of it. I don't think he's interested in it. I think he coaches until he can't walk.
No, I think he retires at some point because he loves lacrosse. Excuse me. That's what I've always said. I think he'll go off and coach like a high school lacrosse team.
He's not doing TV. He's not doing.
No.
He's not writing a book. No, he's not writing a book.
Do you think this is Brady's last year? Speaking of that,
no. I think he keeps playing.
What about? So where's he go?
I think he stays there. Arians is gone. That was the friction there.
That was the friction.
You think that's what
you think he'll play next year?
Yes, I think he's going to play next year. Yep.
I don't.
No,
I think he's done.
I
He's got
think
a
you got to see how the season goes.
$$10 million TV contract.
he's done.
Whenever
That's
he
going to
wants
sit
it.
there whenever he's done.
Whenever he wants it.
If I was him, I'd be done.
He
Dude,
said he
dude,
said he
Tom
wanted to play at 45. He's 45 now, right? Yep.
Yeah, he's done.
the
after
NFC.
this.
Tom Brady could quit in
Would
the
you
middle.
agree that the
Tom
NFC
Brady
is
could-
wide open?
Tom Brady could quit in the middle of the year, and they'd slot him into that
NFC
number
Yeah,
one TV slot.
The NFC's wide open, and Tampa Bay could easily come out of the NFC.
I don't know
Right?
about that.
Wide open.
I don't know about wide open.
But dude, the Rams are not. Please,
The
don't.
Rams are better than. they
What are
were
you
last
talking?
year.
The Rams are not. They won the Super Bowl.
I don't think they're. I don't think.
Oh, they're going to stink this year?
No, I don't think they're going to stink. I just don't think they're going to repeat. I don't think they come out of the NFC. That's just me.
I still think there's three teams that are always
Green
going to be in
Bay?
the hunt, and
No,
I'm
I don't
afraid
think
of Green Bay because I don't
Yeah,
think
but
they got.
Green Bay doesn't really. I mean,
No,
By the
I'm
way-
saying Tampa
by the
Bay.
way,
who are your
New
Rams.
respect for Aaron Rodgers.
Why?
No,
He won the two MVPs on psychedelics. He's been
Did he say that?
he's been dosing psychedelics medicinally for years
Oh,
now.
I didn't know.
Oh, that
I
came
didn't
out
hear
today.
that. I didn't
Oh,
hear
yeah.
that. What are you
What the
doing?
hell? How
He's
come
a
you didn't share-
microdoser.
And
The
you didn't share
microdoser,
that in
yeah.
the chat?
Well, I wanted to
That's
save.
a big thing, dude.
I wanted to save something for the show. You should do your show prep. You're not doing
I was
anything.
working.
You're not working
I
today.
was working. I started this week.
What are you doing?
I'm in training all week with principals all week.
What are you putting ABCs up on the,
No.
on the bulletin board?
Get out of here.
Putting up decorating the
Put your
classrooms?
phones away.
You checking out the no touch zone?
Right.
This is
Oh,
where the no
classrooms.
touch zone is this year.
Wow. All right, we getting the Eagles?
Yeah, I guess we can. We're kind of running tight here.
I mean, like,
Training camp. You want me to just all right? I'll just throw it out
you
there.
want to light him up?
You just
I mean,
wanna light
he
it
looks
out
like
there?
the worst player right now.
Your boy Garner is shit.
He's
and
not.
and
he's
Hurts
not,
is
he's-
getting all the love in the world. it's
he
preseason.
started-
Gardner.
names-
Gardner is not my boy.
Yes, he is.
I have never said he's the guy. My position has.
You had said you'd like them to be a starter at one point.
My position has been Hurts is not the guy, and Gardner's your other
Your
option.
What does
Okay.
he need to prove to you to be the guy? Just curious.
He's got to. It's got to be the full season. It's got to be consistency. I would say 4,000 yards passing,
Okay.
hovering around a 60% completion
Where would
percentage.
you, about 25 touchdowns?
I would say about 25 passing touchdowns. Yes,
Okay.
that's what I.
I think that's fair.
And if you say that to me, then I say I give him another year. I'm not ready to give him.
Well, you're going to have to.
You're
That's
not going to
what-
have to.
Nate, we talked about this.
You don't have to do anything.
If,
Why?
if he has a 4,000 yard season and 25 touchdowns,
Oh, yeah,
they're going to pay
They're
him.
gonna pay him.
He's still on his rookie deal. You got one more year.
They're not going to.
Yeah, but they don't. They won't let them
They're not going to.
because you look at
All right, then for me to pay,
That's McNabb numbers if he does that.
then if you pay him, it's got to.
I'm not talking about Kyler Murray money.
Okay.
well, that's why you do it
But
this
that's
year.
what you're gonna give him.
I'm thinking
No, I
like
don't think you're
5 years, 150, 30 million a year.
No way, bro.
But more?
Cousins
Yes.
gets that.
Yeah, like what are we talking about? Quarterbacks are
You
making
don't
40
think-
something million a year.
Yeah, but I don't put, and I love Hurts. I don't put him up there in that 40 to 45 mil per year. I put him in 30 to 35.
Listen, Watson's going to get 55
gonna
next
ask.
year.
Didn't
So
you say also too that who was it you that you feel like he's the type of guy that, or maybe DJ said that he might be like not a Brady, but he might take a little less money to keep helping.
I don't think he's
I
doing
wouldn't
that
say
his first
If
contract.
you're a
But,
rookie, you're
dude,
not
he might
doing
be the
that.
guy that
That's
does
a
that later.
But
Yeah,
that's a shit ton of money, dude.
It
They're
is,
thinking
but-
about 35 million a year, and the guy already said he hasn't even stopped. Didn't you hear his interview the other day? He's like, I haven't spent any of my money that I've earned as a rookie.
That's
It could
all
be
good.
nothing.
It's great.
Yeah,
I
that's all
just-
good, but
I think he would,
No, bro.
listen.
It's bigger. It's bigger than just him and his greed. It's
but setting the tone for quarterbacks.
yes. He's
Yeah.
got to get paid. He's got
But
to
I
get
don't
paid
think-
like a top.
I don't
quarterback.
think he's
yeah, the
top
Players
5.
Association won't
I don't
let him
think
do
he's
that.
top 5 to pay
I mean,
him
he's
that.
not a top 5.
So
but,
then you don't pay him that.
but he's going to get
With
paid.
the market.
I could see anywhere from 40 to 45.
That's
million.
too much.
That market.
Dude, look at the wide
market rapidly
receivers this
changes.
year.
You don't think?
Look at
that's-
the wide
What
receivers.
does
that
Devontae
market.
Adams get? 5 years,
What did
160.
Christian Kirk
Dude,
get?
I'm a little worried about that.
But like when you got guys that have
and
proved
Brown
nothing,
eventually.
Christian Kirk got one of the biggest deals in the offseason.
Yeah.
Dude did
Wes Watkins
nothing.
has a big year. He's going to price himself out of here too.
But if you're the Players Association, you're telling Hurts, look, you're looking at 40 to 45 a
I
year.
don't think that's.
Yeah.
You
I don't
want to
think
take
right
38? That's the lowest we're going. Don't take any less than that. And if I'm him, I'm a rookie. I'm a second round
Let's
pick.
br-
I
so-
proved myself.
Listen,
I got the
hold on,
franchise.
hold on,
Listen,
hold on.
I got
I
the
hope-
franchise by the balls.
Hold
I'm
on,
taking every
hold
penny they're
on.
going to.
I hope he's worth $50 million a year.
Yeah,
I hope he
yeah.
earns
I
it
know you
because that
do,
means
but-
the Eagles are
but
doing right.
Let's remember.
I
Something.
don't dislike him.
I know you don't. But let's remember something. That
His
I want,
success is my team's success.
that I want you guys to think about too.
Look,
And I know that you're saying,
I'm even wearing my
I know
Kelly
you're
Green
saying
tonight.
like $35 million a year isn't a lot, or it's not like. But also, let's remember, in the NFL, what's it all about?
Winning.
No, it's all about the guaranteed money. So if he gets a 5-year at $35 million and they guarantee him that money, he helps them by keeping his AAV.
Well, that's
Buddy walks away with more money.
that's the Howie Roseman stuff.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
That's the stuff I don't worry
I'm just
about.
saying,
It's
I don't
not
think
my
he's the
money,
type
but
of
he's
guy
got
that'll
to.
sit out or do
All right,
Lamar
so
Jackson.
here you go, Smitty.
You're giving him a lot of benefit of the doubts on here.
So
Who's chiming in here?
$35 million. So Kirk Cousins is getting $35 million.
Okay.
Russell
That's what I
getting
said.
35.
Russell Wilson, right?
I don't know how up to date this is, but it looks kind of up to date because Kyler Murray is second.
And what's Kyler make?
Kyler's making 46.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No way.
So here,
And look-
look,
and
here's
look
what
at-
you're gonna have to look at.
And look at that shit for brains getting that kind of money.
So Derek-
Kyler Murray.
35
Actually,
to
you know what?
40.
Hold up. I got you guys. Look at the screen.
Kyler
What's
Murray
Matt
making that kind
Stafford
of money.
make? What's Matt Stafford make on his extension?
Hold on.
I think 38.
Look, I don't even.
So
I don't even think you look at that because Lamar is up for a contract next year.
Lamar's going to get
I don't
big
think
money.
Baltimore's going to pay him.
They're going to have to.
Somebody's gonna pay him.
I think,
There you go. Look
I
at
think
that.
they're going to
We're
trade him.
getting fancy.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So you got Rodgers with 50.
What's Mahomes make?
Mahomes is
45.
making 45.
Right.
But he got a $500 million contract.
Yeah.
Derek Carr's in there. I mean,
Carr's making $40 million.
yeah, dude.
Allen.
So-
Dak,
But again, it's all about the
So he-
guaranteed
so
money.
he
I understand.
he
but
would sit. It's all about the guaranteed money.
So
but
if you give him a 6 years at 35 mil, but you're guaranteeing 80% of that contract, he's not going to be making as much AAV, but he's
gotta
walking
be
away
in the
with
top
more
8,
money.
Smitty. He's got to be in the top 8.
Where's
Top 8.
Find Lamar on here
I
right
love
now.
Hurts,
Where's
and
he
I don't
at?
think he's top 8.
No, Lamar's down.
Yeah,
because
because that's what I would
he's on
see.
his rookie
Like
deal.
he's.
What's Prescott making?
What is Lamar?
What's Prescott making?
34 a year or something.
that-
He signed a big deal too.
Right,
Where's
so-
Lamar? Wow, Lamar is Lamar only making?
Is he-
No, because he's on his
he's-
rookie
second
deal.
Is he still on his
second
rookie
round-
deal?
Yeah, but he
He's
was
on his rookie
the
deal.
second.
Lamar's
But he was a second round pick.
That's right.
$1 million.
Yeah.
So
Right.
wait a minute. What is Dak making?
Dak is 40.
But he signed that the year that he got hurt.
Yeah.
So are you willing to give him 40 to 45?
I don't think you have a
you
choice.
have to.
Yeah, it's
I like
just the
him,
way
but
of the
it's
league.
tough, man.
You don't have
What
a
are you
choice.
gonna
But
do?
if he's your guy, that's what you're going to do.
I mean,
if he's
what
not
did-
your guy,
what
then
did
you got to
Wentz
cut
get?
bait.
What did Wentz get? Just where's he at? I'm just
Wentz
curious.
is 32 million.
I was to say Wentz is still making money.
All right, so I'd say 35 to.
All right. Either way,
Dude, he's not taking 35.
Smitty. You're splitting hairs. He's either going to get paid or he's going to be out of here.
Right.
I unfortunately think he's going to be out of here.
Well, I knew you.
Oh wow, you think Hurts is not going to be here?
He
I don't think he's going to perform up to what
Well,
we need
Nate,
him to do.
Nate
No.
thought that last year, but I don't think he thinks that anymore.
Well,
I need to.
Everybody sounds like me now, right?
I need to say, Nate. I've been.
But
I've
you
been on
don't
the
think
same.
that way, dude.
Nate, I've been on the same team as you.
No, everybody says, yeah, I like him, but he's not the guy. That's what you hear. Everybody.
Is that
say.
how you feel, or did you do a 360?
A 180. 360 would bring him right back to where he is.
There you go. Joe.
Don't teach geometry either. Jesus Christ.
That's a circle.
No wonder why the math scores in Philadelphia are down so much. My God.
I've shifted my hate to Miles Sanders.
Oh.
I think. Well,
I've shifted my.
here's
hate to
another
Miles
one.
Sanders.
He's going to get paid too.
Hold on.
I-
Criticism isn't hate.
He's gonna
think
get paid.
Miles Sanders has the biggest.
He's a baby.
Well, yeah.
I'll
that
be
too,
willing
but
to
He's got the
bet
most
you
to
he gets a
prove out of
contract.
everybody on this team.
I guarantee you he gets a contract.
He's asking for it, and you see all the stuff in
He's
training
going-
camp. He's out there
Listen,
saying he's
listen.
not. He doesn't feel
I'm not
respected.
saying he's going to break the bank.
Take the Penn State like out of it. Is he worth it? I don't think
No,
he is.
I'm
No.
not saying he's worth like a 15 to 18, but like I
All
think
the
push
respect
comes to
is
shove,
just bullshit. All that
he
talk
might
is
get
just
like 10
bullshit.
or 12
It
mil,
is bullshit.
10 to 12 mil a year,
I'm not paying him that.
3
All
years.
right, let's look at running
33
backs.
million,
Let's
like
go back
eight
to
I'm
the
not,
chart.
See, but I
I'm not
think-
paying Sanders.
I think the running back. I think the
Sanders-
running back
I think
position.
Sanders is a cog. I think he's a nice guy.
You would sign Saquon Barkley when he gets
We have one of the
No, I
best.
wouldn't sign
One of the
Saquon
best
Barkley.
running teams in the league last year without him.
Yeah, but
Yep.
see, the
Half the-
Gainwell, the
Yep.
people that really.
Brody loves Gainwell.
I like Gainwell
I like
too,
him, but
he's a scat back.
he's not a-
He's not a
I know, but you draft another Miles Sanders in the third round next year. At some point, you can't pay everybody. You've got big contracts going. You just
But
paid
you got big
Mailata.
contracts coming out next year. Like,
Right,
You're
but-
not going to play Fletcher. Kelsey's probably going to retire.
I don't think Kelsey's retiring.
I do.
Who
I
knows?
do.
All right, here
Brandon
we go.
Graham
We
wants
got-
to play 15
You got the
years.
running
We'll
backs?
We
see.
got the running backs up.
the running back contracts have gone down. Like
They
the
have,
teams are
yes.
starting to realize that.
Yes.
Unless you're a
That's why
Derrick
I'm-
Henry or
it's
Jonathan
funny. They've
Taylor.
gone down to fantasy football.
Yeah,
too.
they
It's
have,
very
yeah.
interesting.
That's why I'm saying he
So
doesn't
you
get
got
as much.
CMC at 16, Kamara at 15,
Yeah.
Zeke at 15.
Yeah, he's not even.
And
in
these
the-
guys are all on
12,
contracts that were
Henry,
signed
Right.
years ago.
And they also, I mean,
Mixon.
I wouldn't give Zeke that now, but what Zeke did then, he earned that.
Cook
Yeah.
should be coming up, right?
So,
This should be his 4th year.
So I would say he's like 7 to 8 mil per year, and that's
7
what,
to 8. So in the James Conner,
yes.
Fournette,
I don't think he's going to get more than that.
he's
All
not
right,
gonna
well,
he's not going to
3 years, 21 mil.
I don't think how he's doing that.
I do.
Depends on what it depends on how much the cap is, but you got to worry about Hurts first.
If he has 1,100, so I told this to somebody. If he has just for shits and giggles, he shows up. He has 1,100 and I don't know 23 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns,
Sure.
400 or 500 yards receiving, and
7
4
more than he had
and 4
last year.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
Are you paying to me?
I'm
all
not
this
paying him
talk
big
he's
money.
talking about, he wants to be here in this top 5.
Nope.
Are you
Yeah,
paying
he's
him
not getting
Nobody's
that.
giving him that.
10 to 12 million a year?
No, I'm not interested.
Nobody,
You
nobody
can,
is giving him that.
you can go find a deal elsewhere.
Yeah, man.
I think, and the only reason why I'm saying this is because like people are connected, like the Zingaros that are usually accurate, say that they think that either mid-season or by the end of training camp he'll get a deal, but it's going to be a short term, not a ton of money because he has improved.
Well, that's the
And he
Howie
will-
way of doing
and
things.
he will probably take
Okay.
that. That's
Well,
all.
then I'll take that, but I'm not doing anything big. But
So Howie-
7 mil average year over 3 years.
How much did you say?
7 mil.
How much of it
I
How
would do
much-
7. 7
3
over
years,
3.
21 million,
how much you guaranteeing of that?
15
though?
and a half guaranteed.
7 over 3, I'd do. All the numbers that Nate just had up there, he's not getting
He's not getting anywhere.
4 at 12.
He's
I'm
not
not
getting-
giving him
There's
that.
no
He's
way
not
he's
getting
taking
that.
a
He's not
$7
getting
million a
Kamara
year
money.
contract.
You don't
don't
think
think?
so?
Hell no. The way he's think about it. He's screaming
Yeah, I agree, with Nate.
about respect.
Yep.
He's not asking for respect from his peers or from his teammates.
Nope.
He's asking for respect for the league.
Yep.
Like he thinks, and
If
he
the
thinks,
Eagles-
and
He
it's,
thinks
and
he's
it's good
underrated.
for him to
If
think
the
this.
Eagles are
Yeah.
good, they'll pay him by
But he thinks that
mid-year like they
he
always do.
should be looked at as one of the best running backs in the league.
But
Yep.
he's not going to get paid that. And he knows that. I
But if
think.
he puts up that season, he's going to say you're wrong.
I still don't think anybody in the league because Will Scott had a huge year and then he went to free agency and everybody thought he'd get paid and he didn't.
We'll see.
It's going to be interesting.
I just can't stand the respect talk.
Yeah.
That shit
He's,
bothers
I
me.
mean,
Well, if he turns
to,
it into a chip and he makes it
Yeah,
positive,
I'm
I'm
not
good with it.
trying.
I've
But
been trying to get my respect in the
Respect
seat
for
since
what?
I
Like,
joined
what-
Santa
like
Cruz
you
first.
haven't done anything to even say that. That's my problem.
I agree
Yeah.
with that, Nate.
Like you haven't done anything. Like one, you were a starting running back. I don't care how many carries you had and how many carries you didn't have. You were a starting running back last year and you didn't score not one touchdown.
not one.
Well,
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
But you also got to look at his yards per carry over his 3 years or 4 years has he been in the league, and I think he's top
are we
5.
really going to compare him with the Henrys?
I'm not saying that,
and
but
the
when he gets
CMCs?
touches, he
But
makes
this
things
is-
happen.
This is the stuff that the agents do, though.
Right?
Right? You're on Sanders' side. You're saying, look at his yards per carry. He's
How
on-
much
he's
Sanders
on the
shit
Eagles
do you have
side,
in the
he's saying,
basement,
But how many
Smitty?
points does that equate to?
Not,
How much Miles
Not
Sanders
that much.
signed Miles Sanders stuff do you
not
have?
much.
That's always the crux of it, dude.
No,
You,
it's not.
you need to sign a conflict of interest form with us when we start talking about
You
players
know why
based on how much
no,
memorabilia
you know
you
why I
own.
like Sanders because he's pro-Penn. I'm a pro-Penn State guy.
I get it. I'm a Penn Stater
And he
too.
doesn't have any.
We're all Penn Staters
He
in this
still
room.
doesn't
Yeah.
have a lot of like wear and tear in his body.
But he's got injuries that.
Yeah, minor.
That's wear and tear, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying
He
like
gets hurt,
when
man.
Well, when you get injured, that's a tearing of a muscle, right?
There's something every year with him.
Yes.
Every year there's something
Yeah,
that
he-
doesn't
well,
go
Yeah,
I
you.
mean,
I don't see him playing 17.
they
You might
should've-
get 13 out
they
of him.
should have addressed it then in this draft because there were some damn good running backs.
Well, they did
Well,
other
they say
things.
it's better next year. Well, this year coming up.
Like if you want to look at this team, I asked this a couple weeks ago when I was in here. If there's one position, but I'll give you 3 players right now. If they play to the top of their potential, it's Super Bowl. Hurts.
All right.
No, honestly, no, you know,
Listen to
take
what,
a break.
entertain me here.
Are you talking about
If
offensive
Hurts-
side of the
if
ball or
Hurts-
defensive side of the
If
ball?
Hurts is the next coming that we all, or not we all, that some think he
Smitty
can
that-
be.
What are the chances of him playing
That's what I'm
that
saying.
well?
Entertain me here.
Top
If
five
that
in the league.
happens, if Sanders plays like Sanders at some point was better than Barkley, people would say. If
Yeah.
he
No.
could
Yes,
put out a
he was.
season like that,
Yes, he
if
was.
Rager shows up
He's
and
not
can
gonna
be
play.
the third
Phillies are gonna ring.
number 1 receiver on this team, are you telling me this team's unstoppable? If you
But
it's
then
unstoppable.
what about
I
the
know it's a
defense?
pipe dream. But that's why I pointed it out there. If these 3 players.
The problem is
Give us the potential that they have.
You're right, but
You have a quarterback that has not won a playoff game and showed up small in the playoff game. You have a head coach
the whole offense
who showed up small
And the
in the
defense.
playoff game.
and the defense.
You have a
showed up small.
defensive coordinator who's in his first year or second year doing it.
And Phil, you just said the three that I think you should go with. If they all at their top level, then the Eagles go to the Super Bowl.
I think you guys are really jumping
The other thing is
the gun.
the other thing. Is
I think the hope here is to win a playoff game.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with
but
you.
here's
I'm
the-
not saying that's
Okay.
my expectation for this.
No,
season.
I
That's
know
what I
you're not.
said. Rainbows and
I
unicorns.
think
If
your
that happens,
best case scenarios,
But
you,
know
might
what?
get to the
You know what
championship
the problem
game.
is?
Best case.
You probably only have like one shot with the squad because you're not going to be able to pay Bradbury if he plays at the top of his game. You're probably not going to be able to pay Kazir.
He's going to be 30 years old, so you might be able to pay
is
Bradbury.
young.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to pay him.
If you were
You can pay
loaded,
him
if
if
you
you-
were trying to win the Super Bowl this year,
And Marcus Epps
you would
is
have
going to have to have a good year. Too.
you would have
That
addressed
safeties worry me.
you would have
Harrison
addressed
Epps.
quarterback much more if you thought this was a Super Bowl team.
I disagree.
Dude, I think this is very much a prove it to me year for Hurts
Why would they go out and get AJ Brown if they were just to prove it here?
because you got him for
Why
value
would
and you signed him. So
Hassan
it's
Reddick,
either a weapon for now or for the next 4 years.
like
AJ Brown.
he's a weapon now for next 4 years.
Right.
I think he's. I also think he's there to make Hurts
You
better.
think
Absolutely.
I think
I think
he's here for 3? I know. I looked at.
Who?
the
I don't think they've set
Brown?
after year 3.
they've
like,
stop worrying about year 3. They've set Hurts up to succeed. I agree with that. I don't know that he will. I hope he does.
I know you do.
I hope he does.
You
I'm
don't
not.
need to keep saying.
I'm not.
that.
No, I feel like you think I'm rooting
I
against him.
don't think that.
I-
One. Let me ask you this.
I
If was
just
reading
find your confidence in him just very. I don't know,
bizarre.
not based in fact, yes,
Okay, that's fair.
or based on what you've seen, because I find you to be an astute sports fan for the most part.
You just don't agree with her.
He did hate. So
I
you
ju-
guys,
this one I don't
you
agree.
guys both hated Carson, so you have that in common.
I didn't hate Carson.
I didn't hate Carson until
You-
the way he acted.
I'm gonna say I
You know why I tell you why I like Hurts?
you're gonna get mad at me.
Oh,
You're gonna get mad at
He's
me.
gonna say
What do you
Hurts
say?
is better than Wentz, or Wentz is better than Hurts.
I'd rather have Carson Wentz right now than Hurts.
Well, you're talking Super Bowl.
With this line, with these weapons, and with this coach,
Carson now or Carson MVP season?
I told you.
If I could
Carson now
somehow-
has lost it.
I told he's got
I-
food off practice field. I heard today.
what, all 3 people there? There's nobody there.
One of them was the coach.
Right. He's also now with the defensive coordinator
Dude,
coach.
if he
Like,
has a bad year today or a bad couple games, they go to the guy they drafted from North Carolina. It was supposed to be high. Remember?
Couch, not Couch.
No, Sam Howell.
Sam Howell. Yeah.
But here's one thing.
I don't think so.
The reason why, and I know that like I shouldn't look at it this way, and I feel like this is why I root for guys. Like I always think like, and I know you kind of agree with Maxie that he could be a star, but I just like the way Hurts carries himself as a leader. I think that's why I'm drawn to. I'm gonna.
I
be
know,
honest.
but look
And
you drew the comparison to Maxie. Look what Maxie shows
and
you.
the adversity.
It's way
and the
different.
adversity.
Yeah.
Adversity. Like,
What
dude,
adversity?
what do you mean? What adversity?
What adversity?
Tua took the job. He was sitting there and still.
So he transferred.
No,
Stop it.
He came in and win the SEC
Spoiled
championship
brat.
for them when Tua got hurt.
I can't play, so I got to transfer.
No, he didn't.
Sure, he did. He left and went to
And
Oklahoma.
what did he do in Oklahoma?
All right, but still, you get my point.
I'll
So I don't know about
flat on this.
adversity on that one. Sorry.
Smitty, when before you became a part of the show and you used to chime in and we used to chat, I used to say like Hurts. I wasn't sold on Hurts. I'm like,
And
the guy left because he couldn't take it. He
But see,
couldn't handle the competition.
That's not true.
He lost his job. He
That's
was a
not
crybaby. That was my
If
position.
he sat
That was
behind
my
Tua
position.
for another year, and I guarantee you Nate's going to agree with me with this. If he sat behind Tua,
Don't put a guarantee
and
out
he
there.
if he
I got
sat
money to
behind
give him.
Tua, and he doesn't play, he doesn't get drafted as high
I
as
think
he
you're
did.
right there.
And he took another team and took them to a BCS bowl game.
But if you're that good, compete. Beat Tua.
He wasn't going to win that.
He wasn't going to win that because at that point, Tua scored the game-winning
Why
touchdown.
couldn't he pull Sean Clifford and stay for 7 years or whatever the hell they're
I
stuck with?
hope- Oh, God damn.
No,
I'll say right
I
now, I'll
don't-
take
I
Hurts
don't
over
think he
Tua every
left
day.
because he was a baby or anything.
No, I think he
but
wanted another. He
I
wanted
think
to play.
He wanted to play. He was his.
And he wanted to
it was his
prove
senior
himself.
year. He's not going to sit back and just watch somebody else play. And he knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah,
And
those
he
are-
graduated- He
Nate,
graduated
Nate,
with a degree
Nate,
from
Nate,
Alabama. It
Those
was a
thi-
graduate
Nate,
transfer.
Nate, those things are all
Those
great.
Alabama
Those things are
degrees don't mean as
all
much as
I
a
know.
Penn State degree.
those
He
things
was
are
a
all great.
graduate
Those things are
transfer.
all great and fine, but don't give me the adversity
I
story.
am going to give you the adversity.
That's not proving anything. What you just stated there it doesn't.
Lost his
It doesn't.
job and then he came in and still won
And he
something
quit.
for the
It doesn't
team.
contradict
He did
it. Right,
quit.
so-
but it doesn't.
So he
prove
got an
that he
NFL
overcomes
job as a
adversity.
second round pick. He's got no adversity in Philly.
Yes.
What
Not yet.
what adversity is he facing now?
Not yet. He had to
He
face all
can't.
the
He
bullshit with
can't. He
Wentz.
can't. No, he
came
didn't.
in
He
and
didn't
got
face
a
any
chance
bull.
to win the job.
Come on.
He actually came in as the
Dude, they did
the
not,
best alternative to
media
the
and
biggest
everybody
villain in town.
ripped him because they drafted somebody at the quarterback. I was a worst pick.
Well, they didn't rip Hurts.
That
They
wasn't
ripped
that
his.
was the pick.
Right.
They
But they
will
ripped Howie.
we will boo him this year if he doesn't show up.
Well, I agree with that.
Oh, I agree with that too.
Except
For sure.
Smitty.
No, I disagree. I will.
They will boo him. If
I
he
said I
doesn't
was
show
wrong
up.
about Simmons. I think we both agree.
Smitty will be at the link saying, "Remain calm,
Because-
remain calm."
because his team is too good.
But
to
you
lose.
don't think that's going to happen, do you, Nate? Honestly,
What?
you don't think that. You think he's going to have a pretty good year.
Marginally better than what he did last year.
Is that enough to get him another contract?
That'd be a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
That's-
Because when I,
Nate,
because
that's
when I
kinda where
say
I'm at.
marginally, like I'm
Marginally.
talking about
Yeah, what's marginal?
Yeah,
like
like
what do he have? Like 2,500 yards or what did he have
No.
last year?
he had.
28, 29? Did
I thought
he
he had
break
3,
3,000?
didn't he?
I think he had 2,600.
Yeah, he only had that. So if he gets 3,000 yards and he what he had like 16 touchdowns and 20 touchdowns.
He had what, 10 rushing?
Does
I
he?
thought you
Does
said
he?
that
Does
rushing
he
was-
have a stretch like he had the last 6 games of the season,
I hope.
which
not.
were putrid?
They're not
he was
going
also
to
hurt
be
then.
unless Sanders doesn't show up. Like think about defending them. You're going to force them to pass.
But he's still, he's still
Yeah,
gonna
but
have to
you
make
got
those
Brown
throws.
and
I don't
Smith.
know. Are you going to force them to pass with these receivers?
Brown
I think so.
and Smith.
To beat the
And
Eagles,
Goddard.
I think you have to
Like-
make
Okay, but he's got to make the throws,
you have to make Hurts
I agree
pass.
with you.
and he's got to make the
So
throws.
He's got to
he's-
still make the throws.
So after the
100%
first
agree.
3 or 4 games of the
yeah,
season,
defenses are going to force him to pass. They're not going to let him
Like if
run.
he loses to Detroit game 1, AB's gonna.
They're not going to lose to Detroit
Now, look,
game 1.
they game
They're going to
first-
start off 4-0.
first 3-4 games
But
of
I
the
think that's-
Do you
season.
think they beat Minnesota? A lot of people think that's a trap.
I think
Nah,
so,
that's
but
a
all right,
home
even if they
game.
start off 3-1, I don't think that's a real test of the season. The season gets tougher. They have a favorable start to the season.
They have a favorable schedule. Period.
Yeah, that's
They
what I was
do.
going to say.
They
So
do.
if they go first 3-4 games of the season, if they aren't running the ball, and it's AJ Brown, Smitty, Goddard all day, then what are teams going to do?
Shut it down.
Because they've been throwing it.
But if
Are you going to force them to keep throwing it, or are you going to?
if he
Well, I mean,
throws
obviously,
it,
you
he's gonna
change,
do
you
it.
change it, you change up, and you see what they're doing well, and you try to take that away.
See,
But if I'm Detroit, I'm daring you to throw the ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just.
I
daring you to beat
agree.
me
But
when you're
guess
on.
what?
But
If I start
so-
throwing the
Yep,
ball,
pull the safety under
Yeah, I
and make
start-
it make
I
it a
start
hard throw
throwing
over the
the
middle.
ball.
I agree.
I start throwing the ball, and now I don't have a spy. That opens up my running game, whether it's a running back or Hurts. And I don't want to see Hurts run enough because he's
Yeah, you don't
eventually
wanna
gonna
see
get
that.
hurt.
Okay, so last season they were the best
I don't-
running team in the NFL the last 5-6 weeks.
Delusional reference. Yeah, but that's one of those
But
that
but
happened
it-
because of a number of reasons, and one of them is because Hurts couldn't make the throws.
all right,
His receivers couldn't get open.
But Flynn,
That's fine.
Flynn, I've been agreeing with you probably too much, but at the end of the day, they were winning games. So that's
Yeah,
agreed.
That all that matters. To me.
Agreed, but then they got in the playoffs, and you saw what
because it
you
was, yeah,
a
because
good
it was
defensive
time.
coordinator did. Well,
It was
Bowles
time.
so what I'm
against
saying
Tom,
is,
but Bowles also made them look foolish.
but what I'm saying is, if you're going to force me to throw, all right, I won't throw. I've proven that I can run. I have the same offensive line,
You do.
and I hopefully have a healthy Sanders. I'll run all day. Then
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if they can run, I mean, you do what. I think Sirianni is actually. I used to give him shit, but I think he's actually somewhat of a smart coach.
I agree with
And
that.
I think that
I'm not sold on that yet.
I think that he's going to do with what works. Might take him a little bit, but he's eventually going to do what works.
Yep.
And if they can run the ball, he's going to run it down their throat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if they give him the intermediate and short throws, he's going to do that all day. I think I think he's one of the newer coaches that are smart enough to see that. But I think that
I agree. With
I
that.
think they're going to come out throwing though. I don't think they're going to line up and run the ball. I think they're going to come out throwing, and I think they're going to want to show him off and AJ Brown a lot because I get the
You
the
paid him
TO
all that money.
I hate the TO comparison because I hold TO
Oh,
in
he's
such
not
high
T.O.
regard.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
not
And it's
T.O.'s one of the
TO's
top 3
special.
receivers ever. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's special.
Plus his size.
And he had a good,
Plus his
as much
size.
as
What was T.O.?
McNabb get
Also,
shit us down.
what-
He had a quarterback to throw to him at that point.
I
T.O.
don't
was
think
also
it's
what
cra-
6'4"?
I don't think it's crazy to say Smith.
AJ
has-
Brown
5.
6'4", 6'5". AJ Brown's
Yeah, but I don't-
6'2".
Yeah, but he's a moose after.
I
that.
don't-
No, he is.
Yeah.
He
I
is.
don't
But
think it's-
T.O.'s different level.
I don't think it's crazy to say that Smith and Brown have identical stats.
I do.
I think
is gonna have
Smith
a better
is
year.
what?
I think Smith has the better year.
Okay, well, I think they both could have 1,200 yards.
Ooh, that's a lot.
I don't
So,
think so.
so you're thinking 1,200 each for them, and
I
then
don't think Brown
1,000 for
I
Goddard.
don't think
I don't
Brown
think
cracks 1,000.
You don't think
No.
Brown gets 1,000?
No.
No, dude.
I don't think so. Too many mouths to feed. You got a lot of weapons.
You do.
Yeah, I was looking at
you got
900.
Smith.
So then what do you have Smith at? If you say Brown gets
I think Smith gets over 1,000 because I just think that matchup against
and you're
whoever
right,
their
Goddard,
second
dude.
their second corner is, whoever that matchup, Smith is just going to feast. Smith is going to be your 8 catches, 110 yards.
Yep.
And then AJ Brown will have numbers like that, but he'll be more of like 4 or 5 catches for like maybe 90, 100
Red zone
yards.
too. Red zone too
yeah,
for Smith.
But
Yep.
to me,
Or
Smith
for
Smith is
AJ
Yeah,
Brown.
they got it.
Smith is
Yeah.
your better route runner. You're more intermediate. He's just smoother.
Well, he's going to have the easier corner on him.
yeah, and he's going
Or
to have
at
the easier
least the
corner on him.
beginning.
Like
And
good,
if he starts-
like I think they said it. Like good luck trying to put a second corner on a second, year. Devontae Smith. He had 900 something yards
Well, here's the other thing.
last year, and Hurts was terrible.
But here's the thing that people got to remember too. Like you just said, Goddard,
Yeah.
Smith,
Yeah, who's the third
Brown.
receiver?
If you Watkins,
Quest.
if
You think Quez is getting
well, I
it?
don't know.
Yeah,
Rager's
Quez.
they said have a good camp, but I don't care about.
I think
Rager.
it's Quest.
But here's the other thing that you got to remember. So, like, say Smith starts lighting it up, you start double teaming him, and you still try to double team Brown. Then Goddard's going to feast.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like this team has so many. Like you said, it depends on can
Got to
Hurts
make
get the ball.
throws.
But if he can make the throws and get there, like it's going to be a matchup nightmare where you might see 1 week Goddard goes for a ton, then teams start planning for Goddard. So then Brown, like it's like pick your poison.
What
at
I
that
want to
point.
see, I think I just.
But I agree with you. His arm.
What
You're
I
right.
want to see from Hurts is obviously outside of all the improvement and all that crap. I want to see him to be able to throw with the better quarterbacks in this league.
Yep.
Like when you go
Right.
against
That's what he needs
one of
to
the
do
better
if he's gonna
quarterbacks
be
in
the
this
franchise
league.
quarterback.
and you have to throw
Yep.
to score.
Yep.
That's what I like when you have to throw. When the defense knows you're throwing, it's 3rd and 8, and they know you're throwing, and you can complete that pass to move the chains. That's what I want to
So,
see.
You know what's going to be.
Hurts.
You know what's going to be the test there, Nate. The Vikings game, because the Vikings got a new offensive coordinator. They're going to throw the ball a ton.
Yeah, they are.
That's going to be a shootout type
Well,
game.
Jefferson will slay, right?
Right, but that's going to be a shootout type of game. Can you hang with someone like that? And Cousins isn't the best quarterback,
See, I don't think Minnesota's
Cousins
a
can-
shootout.
Yeah,
dude. They got a new offensive coordinator. They got a lot of weapons.
I'm worried about Jefferson.
they can't play here.
I'm not worried about Thielen.
You're not worried about Thielen. Thielen had what 1,500 yards 2 years ago.
Yeah, what did he have last year?
He was hurt and there were some things going
He
on.
still
But
scored like 11 touchdowns.
yeah,
I mean,
and you got Cook. They've got a good offense. Their offense is
what, Jared
comparable.
Cook's there?
Yeah, their offense is comparable.
I
So
wouldn't-
you guys just
Dalvin Cook, you're worried about.
you just went
Yeah.
through the whole teams are going to force him to throw, and then I just heard here that this team's going to be able to throw all over everybody.
No,
Like,
see,
and
no,
when
no,
you
no,
say-
no,
when
no,
you
no,
were-
no.
I didn't say
no,
that.
I'm saying
I
the
said secondary.
I'm saying the Vikings are going to throw. I want to.
No,
Why?
I'm saying the Eagles. Like you guys made it sound like
I don't
Hurts
think they
has
can.
so
The
many
Vikings
options.
secondary
I don't think he
blows,
can make the
dude.
throws is the problem.
The
So I
Vikings-
want to see what he does against the Vikings. I think that's a game you got to
But
win
that
like
secondary,
42-35 or something. That's a shootout game.
that secondary
early in the
blows
season.
Minnesota blows. They brought back Patrick Peterson, who's got nothing left.
And Nate, when you say you want him to throw it the best, do you mean
Our secondary is
do you
great.
do you want him to be like?
Bradbury and Slay.
Well, no,
Who's your
I'm just saying like, do you want him to be like
That's
Josh
they
Allen
want
or
to-
Mahomes and like put up 350, or
I
you just
think
want to
about
see
it.
him
That happens.
That would be a different story.
make the throw? So if they run for 180 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he has 200 yards passing and 1 touchdown, but he makes the third down plays. Like when you're saying you want to see him throw with the best, like what does that mean? Does he have to have the 350, 400-yard games every other week?
But I can't have 120 yard.
I agree. I don't want
Game.
100 and
Can't do
I don't want 100 yards passing and 150
And
And you
rushing.
got
I don't want
to
that.
be able to make throws over 15 yards in tight windows in pressure situations. I don't care about
Third
I don't
I
care about
agree
the
with that.
garbage stats.
Third down
you need a
passing.
third. You need a 3rd and 9. I need a first
I'm
down
looking at
throwing the
schedule now.
ball.
Like Flynn said, Minnesota's going to throw.
Yep.
Arizona's going to throw. Dallas is going to throw.
Yep.
Indy is going to throw. Obviously,
But none of
Green Bay.
wait, let me pause right there.
That's where
Minnesota's going to throw. Arizona doesn't have anybody to throw to. Dallas doesn't have anybody to throw to. They're both missing receivers.
But their offense is
It's
like,
geared to
there's a
throw.
pass-
They're
It's
gonna
geared
throw-
to throw, but they're not
They're
going to be
going to
able
throw the
to.
ball.
They're not going to be able to.
maybe not against
Against this team.
You got Hollywood Brown in
But I'm
Arizona.
just-
they're
I'm just
they're
That's
saying-
gonna throw-
all.
I'm just
And he's going to get
saying-
suspended because
And
he just
Zach
got
Ertz.
arrested
Yeah, I
yesterday.
Yeah, he just got arrested.
dumbass.
But I'm just saying,
Hollywood
like,
Brown.
these teams are going
They're
to
throwing
throw the
teams.
ball. They're
Yep.
throwing.
Yeah.
They're more. Their statistics is more throwing than running. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yep.
So in those games, in those spots, like Hurts has got to show up with his arm.
Yep.
You know, like Detroit, they can probably run against Detroit and beat Detroit.
Yes.
Washington probably be tough because that's how tough Washington is up front. Even though it hasn't lived up to the hype, still a lot of talent on that defense.
And they're going to steal one against you. I
You know
hate
what
to say it.
Who?
Washington.
Pittsburgh,
No, they're
Houston,
Pittsburgh stinks out
the
loud.
Giants,
He just said Washington's
Chicago.
going to steal one from
But
us.
dude, so let's
Like
let,
they're not they don't like he doesn't have to be special to beat those teams in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
let's go back to the Arizona
And
and, the
beating those
Dallas
teams
game.
doesn't prove anything.
Go back to the Arizona and the Dallas game.
Yeah.
Does he have to outthrow Murray?
No, I'm not saying out throw him.
Throw
But
with them.
I'm just saying like Murray typically is going to have like 250, 270 yards, maybe a touchdown and pick or so. Like Hurts can't be at like 180.
That's
Okay.
it. Yes.
All
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Okay.
Like it's got to be comparable. He's got to be like, 230, 245. I'm not saying he has to out duel him.
I need some threes, Nate. I don't like these
look.
twos.
I want a 3 here and there, but that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but
Like,
Not
are
here
you,
and there.
But
This
what I'm-
NFL
what
is
I'm saying, like,
you can't.
300 yards is 200 yards 10 years ago.
Like I don't want him to have like 12 rushes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want him to have like 30 to 35 passing attempts.
I
Now, if
also
he
want
shits the bed-
25 completions. I don't want 18 completions,
Yeah, like if
17
he shits the bed
completions.
passing, he's just the bed passing. But like at least like his attempts need to be up
Yes.
from a passing.
Yeah, I agree there. I'm not expecting him to go out and throw 350 every week like you see guys like
I need to see it.
Burrow and Brady and
I need to see
Allen.
it. Well, that's who your elite quarterbacks are. That's who gets to the Super Bowl. That's who gets you to the next level,
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's the issue
yeah, and that's
in this league.
and that's
That's
where
the
I
issue.
think we're saying he's not
the
elite.
guy. Nope.
He's not elite.
Yeah,
You gotta
can't
see the
win
team
without
that's-
elite.
You can win without elite.
I know you're going to point to Foles, but
No,
Foles,
I'm not even. I'm
Foles
going to
played
point to
at an
Trent
elite level.
Dilfer. I'm going
Foles
to
was
point to.
elite.
That was
think Matt
Trent
Stafford
Dilfer was 30 years ago.
Do you think
He
Matt
was not
Stafford's
elite?
You
It
think
was-
Matt-
Yes, Matt Stafford's
Matt
elite.
Stafford's absolutely elite.
Oh
Are you
my
kidding?
God,
Matt
dude.
Stafford's a Hall of Famer.
Wow.
Look at his numbers.
Are you guys serious right now?
He's got. I think
know
he's got
numbers, but he's got
400
shit numbers because he had to throw 50 times a game.
Okay.
I don't know that he's elite, dude.
Oh, you don't
All
know.
right, wait, I don't know that he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, was
I
about
think
to
he's
say,
got
definitely
400
elite.
touchdowns.
He's definitely elite for sure. Did he have like 3 years of 5,000 yards?
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, he
That's all
did.
Yeah,
he
because
did.
it's all they did was throw the
And they
ball.
He still did it.
He
Nobody
still
else
threw
did
for
it.
5,000 yards.
Yeah,
Correct. No one else
Megatron-
did it.
Megatron.
Okay. is
Matt,
that his fault?
Matt Stafford is
Did
a
you say Joe
modern.
Montana and Jerry
Oh
Rice?
my God! Let's not compare. Matt
now I'm
Stafford.
going to start talking like Deke and saying they're
No,
different
no,
eras.
but I'm just saying, like, are you mad because he has an elite receiver? Like you're
no,
saying,
I'm
you're-
saying
like,
that's
you're
all
looking
they
at each other
did
like
was
he had
throw, and they
Megatron.
lost.
It's all Dan Marino
They
did, and he lost.
lost.
And they won the Super. And he won the
It's
Super Bowl.
Detroit.
Matt Ryan's elite?
Yeah.
Do I think Matt Ryan's elite?
He's got more MVPs than Stafford.
I think Stafford's a better quarterback right now, and I think
Ryan's not
Stafford
elite.
has had a
Do you
better.
think Eli Manning was?
I
elite?
think Matt
Yes.
Ryan is. I think Matt Ryan is very much on the level.
Do you think
Is
Eli Manning?
I think-
Roethlisberger
I
elite?
think Matt Ryan.
Matt Roethlisberger's
Can I-
in the Hall of Fame.
Can I
Yeah.
say something? I think Matt Ryan is very equivalent to Donovan McNabb. Not elite, but very good.
Do you think Donovan should be in the Hall of Fame?
No,
Should Michael Vick?
no.
Roethlisberger and Eli are getting in.
Roethlisberger
because of their Super
more so
Bowl.
than Eli.
They're both getting in.
Are you
Roethlisberger.
serious?
They're
Roethlisberger.
both
Serious
getting
about
in.
what?
You said Roethlisberger over Eli?
No, I
Are
said
both
they're
Yeah,
getting
you
in the
look-
Hall of Fame
You look
because
at
of their
you
Super
look
Bowl
at how
wins.
good they're both going to get in, but you look at how good
I'm
the
not saying they
Steelers-
should. I'm saying they
You
are.
look at how good the Steelers were under Roethlisberger. How many divisions they won?
both.
The Giants really had three
was
or four.
Was it him or was
three
it
or
his
four,
defense?
three or
and-
four
No,
good
he was
years
pretty
under
good in
Manning.
the Super
Yeah,
Bowl. I don't like Roethlisberger.
I'm not a Giants fan, and I don't like Eli at all.
But he's a Hall of
Neither
Famer.
do
No,
I.
I'm not disputing his Hall of
But
Fame
he is
credentials.
clutch, bro.
He's clutch. Is he a Hall of
I mean, the
Famer?
guy
Yes,
caught the
he's a
ball
Hall
off
of
his
Famer.
helmet that he threw up for the
Wow.
grab.
Absolutely, he's a Hall.
He is a
of
Hall of Fame. There's no quarterback with 2 rings that's not in the Hall of Fame.
I know, but should he be?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Those put you in the Hall of Fame.
Dude, Tony Romo's probably going to get in.
No, Romo shouldn't. He doesn't have a championship.
I don't think Romo
That was
does.
a- that was a
Dude,
good
Joe
call.
Namath's in the
No,
Hall of
just-
Fame.
I know you're trying to get me going. I
Joe
know you're trying to get me
Namath.
going.
Joe
Let's think
Namath.
about that.
Joe Namath
Pause.
has
Because of
pedestrian
the guarantee.
stats aside
Because
from
of the guarantee.
Of course.
Because of the guarantee.
Okay.
Eli should not.
You, think Matt
You
Stafford's a
take
Hall of
away.
Famer?
Yes, Matt Stafford's a Hall of Famer.
You take
Oh
away
my
Eli
100%.
Super Bowls.
God.
You take away Eli Super Bowls. Is he a Hall of Famer?
He's not a first ballot Hall of
Oh,
Famer.
dude, he's a veteran vote. At
No, he's
best.
not.
But
At
No.
best.
hold on.
He's pulling up Stafford.
But Jim, you're taking away a big part of his legacy.
Yes,
you
you
said-
are. You
You just said
can't.
take away his 2 Super Bowl rings.
Against the
Because he didn't
Patriots.
win them on his own.
He beat the Patriots twice. though.
He made big
Yes,
plays
and he
in
beat
those
the-
games, bro.
Smitty, and he beat the
Nate,
and he
I
beat
could,
the
I could
Patriots
close my
twice.
eyes and throw the ball.
Twice.
Weren't they undefeated?
Hey,
Yes,
He
he
made-
beat an
he
undefeated
made the
Patriots
throw
team.
in the biggest game of the year.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
that
care what
catch
you
was
say.
caught up in his head.
Doesn't matter.
That was a great catch.
I think the second catch was better than the first. To was it Manahan or Manningham?
It might have been.
on
it
the
might have
sideline there.
Yep.
On that sideline.
I just don't
throw?
think. I just don't think Stafford's elite.
You're out of your mind. He
You're
just won a
crazy.
Super Bowl.
That,
Look,
oh,
His stats are amazing.
I think the Super Bowl is what gets him into the Hall of Fame
But
conversation.
I'm just saying he
but
went. He got traded in 1 year and won a Super
here,
Bowl.
we
How
can-
is
Yes.
that not
we can
elite?
give you a quarterback that got to the Super
Who-
Bowl.
but
and
what,
definitely wasn't elite.
name
Jared Goff.
another quarterback who got
Jimmy
traded
Garoppolo.
and then took their team to the Super Bowl.
Colin
can't.
Kaepernick.
It's going to be Russell Wilson this year with Denver.
They're not even going to make the playoffs.
Yes, they are.
No, they're
Guess
not.
who's going to be the worst team in that division?
The Denver
Las
Broncos.
Vegas. Yeah.
Best division in football.
It is
Yeah,
the
that's
best
going to be a
division
fun
football by
division to
far.
watch.
Hey, Las Vegas is going to be the worst.
I don't think so.
It might be.
Yeah.
They need to figure if they can figure out the running game, they're going to be
I think-
dangerous.
I think
That's
they're
the only
better,
problem.
better
Jacobs gets hurt
than
all
what
the time,
people give
too.
him credit for. It's all because of Carr. Like he's quote unquote the
Guess
worst
what?
quarterback.
He's
in
got
the league.
Devontae Adams. You know that connection he had with the dude from Clemson? What's
Yeah,
his
no.
name? No, what's his
Hunter
name?
Renfro.
That connection's going
No, that's
to
what
be
I'm saying.
lost because they're going to feed the ball to Devontae. and
Don't
they're gonna
forget the tight
Nah.
end.
They're
The
going
tight
to
end's a
forget about it
monster.
because Devontae's going to get the ball all the time. You may say,
Well, he played in college ball with Devontae, so he's
so
got
what's
that
mean?
connection.
He's got it. Dude, Hunter Renfro's legit.
Yeah, he's legit.
I'm not saying he isn't.
So he-
I'm saying if the only thing I think Vegas needs to figure out is the running game.
I
If they
would-
get the running game
Vegas
going,
also needs to figure out their players not getting drunk and getting arrested. They're good at that.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Right? Who's
All
the
right.
next one to go?
who?
I'd love to see the over-under.
What are you
Vegas
making
player to get
picks on who's? That's terrible.
arrested. Derek Carr found Jesus after he was drunk.
All right, I have a question. Maybe we can close out on this because are you ready to go? You
no,
done?
no, no. It's just, it's my head.
Yeah, when he takes the headphones off, that means it's
That's
time to
his
go.
I can
signal.
take the
That's his
headphones off
signal.
and
That's
do
the
it here.
signal to say, all right, we've been on
Relax.
for a long time. It's time to go.
Got
Here-
ears, I got a little ear sweat.
Here's a question that it's actually a question from Brody. You hear Jordan Davis is looking good,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
and you hear all these guys and others in the league saying he's just a beast of a man.
Yes.
Yep.
Is he a starter by the end of the season?
He's going
And
to
if he is, whose place is he taking?
he's going to start in different packages. I think he takes Fletcher's spot. But I'm going to tell you right now, here's a hot take. I don't think Hargraves or Cox is back next year.
If he takes,
Neither.
I would agree with you on Cox. I think
Hargraves ain't been paid yet.
Well, I mean, Cox took a pay cut to come back this year after they
He
cut
got
him.
14 mil
I understand,
after a
but
horrible year.
but listen, I think
he's going into this year.
he might come back again lower.
another lower one.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I think
To
he goes
win, I
like
think he would.
8.
To win in green,
I agree.
like if they're
Do you think Hargraves is coming back?
Hargraves is different. He's
I
not
don't know
Fletcher
what
Cox.
you
think
guys
he's getting paid.
are not saying, but Hargraves is
They
the
would've already
best
paid him by
defensive
now.
lineman on the team.
Well,
He was last year, yes.
He started out that way.
Right.
Wait a minute.
And he kind of tailed off at the end of the season, but I agree.
But the whole defense
he's
tailed off, right?
younger,
The scheme
and I
tailed
would
off. The
take him-
linebackers were exposed.
Yeah,
Like there's a
but
lot that went on.
Hargraves hasn't signed, and the Eagles usually sign that player. He's in the last year of his deal. My guess is he's not coming
Is this
back.
year's next year or next year?
Yes.
I think they got to figure out Hurts. That's what's holding everything up.
His deal's almost already up. He's been here that long.
3 years.
Was it
So 3 years, 39 million. It's with Rosenhaus.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
But I think their future's Jordan Davis and
Well, I mean,
Milton Williams.
listen, you made
I
a
like Milton
think
Williams,
Williams?
too. Yes,
listen,
I like him.
He
Dave-
flashes, but I don't know if he's a
And
starter.
I think that Kobe Dean takes over a linebacker spot
No,
before
no,
the
he
end of the
will-
year.
he will.
Yes, he does.
he will not.
Oh,
From who?
he will.
I don't think so.
He's
From
already
Kazir?
running with the ones.
we'll see.
Taking it over from Kazir?
No,
it's gonna be
Smitty.
White
That report
and
was
Dean.
that he started switching in to see him play.
Dude,
It wasn't that he
here's
was.
the thing that people need to remember.
Let's see him tackle.
Other than the
Let's see him
dude-
tackle somebody to the ground. We haven't
Other
tackled
than
anybody to the
dude
ground yet.
from
Let's see.
Bama, he was the best linebacker in the country. 100% last year.
All right. Well, they might have got to
I know,
steal
but
with him.
He's still behind in the defense though.
I think it's going to be by the end of the year. Him and
I don't think
White.
I don't think it's a disappointment if Dean doesn't start. You got to
said
steal.
by the end of the year. Him and Kelsey White start.
Maybe.
And here's
By the end of the
another
year?
thing I'll tell you I don't like. Why are they using? I don't like that they're dropping Hassan Reddick in coverage. Look at his numbers.
Yeah,
when
well, that
he
was his
rushed
best
the
year.
pass. Every year he's rushed the pass. He had 11 to 12. When they drop him in coverage, 2 to 3 sacks. He's not a linebacker.
They've been in camp 4 days.
So what I've heard about Gannon is that it's going to be multiple fronts. It's going to be 3-4. It's going to be 4-3.
But I just think
Yep.
Reddick's
It's
a
gonna be
good pass
5-2.
rusher. That's all I'm saying.
So I think that Reddick
don't
will
agree?
get his chance to rush the pass.
But I don't think he's not a good
But
coverage linebacker.
I want to be careful with Davis though, because I think people think you can just plug and play.
No, he's a nose tackle. You're going to use him
And-
in certain situations.
But I mean, it's just like, oh, Fletch can go, right? And I, you know me, I was critical of Fletch. I was critical
It's
all
not that
year.
he can go. It's just
And
that
I
you
was
don't
critical
have the
of Fletch 2
money
years
for
ago.
all those positions.
I felt Fletch was washed 2 years ago, but we have to be careful of how we just plug and play Davis in, because Fletcher Cox is the best defensive lineman, the best defensive tackle, my fault, that ever put on Eagles green.
I agree with you,
So-
but there comes a point where, like, you know how the Eagles work. A certain age.
I know, but
I
there's
get what you're saying, but they're two completely different players.
If I was the Eagles, I would bring back one of Cox or Hargreaves. That's me.
Like
That's
So
yeah.
Brad-
I don't think you're necessarily going to have to choose between the two. But to Nate's
You
point,
can't pay them both.
hold on. To Nate's point, well, Cox isn't going to get a big deal at his age. He's going to be going into his 33rd year.
Bulls still get money.
I don't think he's going to get as much. He has slowed down. But to Nate's point, the value is also what he's doing in clogging up space, right?
But isn't that what Jordan Davis is supposed to do?
We got to see him play.
I know.
I know he looks-
He's
He's a
the
massive-
size of both of those
He's a
guys.
massive
thing that I
man.
will defend with Nate is the biggest knock on him in Georgia is that he becomes very lazy easily. And he can't be a 3-down defensive tackle.
Well,
in the
let's
league.
see what happens.
So
I'm excited
Nate.
by it. I'm
But if they're,
excited to see him play.
that's not Gannon's defense, though. He doesn't need to play all four.
I'm excited to see him play.
3.
No doubt.
So here's one last question.
But I
before
don't
we
know.
go. Do the Eagles trade for Jesse Bates?
No.
I say yes.
I think it depends. Like I
He's
hate
not
to take the
going back
cop.
to
I
Cincinnati.
hate to take the cop out answer, but it depends. Like if Cincinnati finally
He's not
get to
gonna
a point
seal-
where they're like, we're not getting anything from him.
They're
So
not,
what?
though.
What are you going
what
to
are the
give? What are you
Eagles
going to give
trading?
up for him?
I would give one of the firsts.
Up the tackle. No, I was thinking.
Then you got to sign. Then
You're
you
not
have.
giving- You're not
You
giving-
have to sign
Dude,
him
hold
if you're
on.
giving up
You're
first.
not giving up.
Well, I think you
first.
are.
You're giving up Dillard.
The
and-
Dillard's concussed now.
and a 2.
Dillard can cuss now.
That's
Dillard-
we were talking about that earlier. I was
Alright,
hoping he'd be
Rager
healthy.
and a 2.
Well, yeah, yeah, they want Rager.
Anybody could take
Dillard
it.
and a 2.
If you can sign him,
I don't know why you guys are so quick to give up Dillard, man.
It's not that.
I just think like
Alright,
I
like,
agree. Depth of the line is important.
Okay, how about
Mailata's got a
all right,
concussion right now.
Give me the other
You're
guy.
down 2
What's
linemen
the other
right now.
guy's name that's fighting for the left guard job?
You can't just
Here's the thing.
say Amalo.
The,
Yeah.
the offensive
got
line,
Driscoll.
though.
Can't ju-
You got Driscoll.
That's your consistency, though. You can't just dump.
Sam Allen's
That.
not going to start this year.
He might not.
Nope.
He's also valuable. You also have an older Jason Kelsey, so say Amalo is your backup center
No,
as
he's
well.
not.
Yeah, they got
Rookie's your backup
Jurgens
center.
and
Yeah,
All right,
the
Dickerson
rookie-
can move to
All right,
center if you
right,
need him
All
to.
right,
Right.
all right. If God forbid Kelsey gets hurt, do you want the veteran? You want the second-year guy or the first-year guy playing center underneath the second-year quarterback? You tell me.
I'll give the
So
rookie
I'm
a
not-
shot.
I'm not really willing
You
to
could
dump
trade
Sayamalo
You could
that
trade
quickly.
a young linebacker with the pick. You trade Davion Taylor if they're
That's
interested.
wishful thinking. Why would the Bengals do that?
I don't know if they need a linebacker.
They don't.
I would give a 2 for Jesse Bates. Conditional if I sign a 2 and a 4 the following year. I think that gets it done.
I don't think it gets. I think they want more.
They're not going to get more, so they're going to come to
Then they're
But
going
that's-
to force them to play.
That's where I think you have to.
I don't think he's
if
gonna play.
Cincinnati's going to have to get to a point.
Contract they offered him, $4 million guaranteed over the season. He ain't playing there.
Well, they're going to run out of money too. They're going to have to pay Burrow. They're going
Barrow's
to
gonna
have
be
to
a $50
chase.
million man.
Higgins is up. Mixon's going to
They're
be
not
up.
going to be able to pay all of them. Mixon, they just signed. They're going to pay
Mixon
Chase.
just got an extension.
They'll pay Chase on.
Oh, Chase is going to get paid,
They're
but
not going to pay Higgins. They can't.
they're going to let Boyd walk because Boyd's got to be coming up on his.
I just
fourth.
think Jesse Bates, if they're going to sign him, they would sign him. If
We'll
it
see.
gets to the end of training,
I'm
camp,
sure there's 12 other teams that have a needed safety that probably
yeah, but
are.
we have more draft picks than anybody in the league.
All right,
We
we'll
got
see.
the capital.
Listen, would I do it? Yeah, if I can sign them, yes, I do it.
You can't sign him until after this year. So if you give a high pick, you need to almost work out a
Well,
contract.
then you got to work it
But
out.
I think that he would sign.
Well, we'll see.
So he's already commented.
I do because right now,
he was commenting on
I
Slay
know he
Bradbury.
was. I know. Listen, safety's our weak point on this team. Woefully weak.
Could you imagine him?
But and maybe
Woefully
imagine him
maybe they're
with
thinking
Slay
though.
and Bradbury?
Yeah,
But
that
maybe
would be
they're thinking they don't need him
And
with
then
Slay
guess
and
what? If
Bradbury.
you don't- And also the other thing that you think about too is if Hurts gets the job done, you're set up next year to just shore up that defense with the best safety in the draft and whoever else and a corner to replace Bradbury. So you got to hope Hurts does it because you got tons of capital in ammo these next 2 years.
All right. It's exciting.
All right.
It is
see.
exciting.
It is exciting. And as we get closer, there'll be much more excitement. I'll be down at training camp next week on Wednesday. So
Nice.
maybe I'll have something to report on the show Thursday.
Is it more Free Britney for Free Britney Spears or Free Britney Griner? Which one were you behind more? Which Free Britney?
I don't know.
Whichever
Free
one looks
Britney
better.
Spears is kind of a train wreck right now.
No, it's but you got her freedom. But
I know.
were you behind that movement or Griner?
I couldn't have cared less.
I was gonna say whichever one looks better in the schoolgirl uniform. No?
What's wrong with
Is that the wrong
Britney
way to
Spears?
go?
Is 40 years old. He can comment on.
He's saying Griner in a school uniform.
Oh well, you know.
Yeah. Long
Hey.
legs.
Hey, there's something about some long legs. You know.
All right, we're good.
Long legs around a short guy.
Remember, be excellent to each other.
You're shutting me down. Look, see how it goes, Nate. He takes his headphones off.
There's
He
no
starts giving.
Santa.
He stirs the
starts
pot
giving
and
me
then he
the
tries
signal.
to get out.
Starts giving me the
Oh, it's
signal
gonna
to
get a
shut
little
it
dirty
down.
here.
No, I don't care if it's dirty. We've been, trust me. I'm the APs, the CDs.
All right, I think we're done. There's more, but we
No,
don't
we're
have the
good.
time for
Yeah,
it.
I
We
think
could.
James Harden's cooking up a big season.
Oh, did
Oh,
you see
God,
that?
get out of here with
You see
Harden.
the video?
I'm all in. Yep.
See? I know
Yeah.
Nate
On
is
that
too.
note.
Nate's
Wait.
all in.
I want to. Our rest in peace, Bill Russell, Vin Scully.
Yes.
I do have a fact for tonight that I think we'll get as we go out. So people who prefer Twitter over Instagram tend to be more educated, less likely to be narcissists, but more likely to suffer from insomnia.
That's true because I'm on Twitter all the time.
I know you guys are a big IG fan. No, you're a big IG fan, aren't you?
I'm more
Big
Twitter.
Instagram.
I'm more Twitter.
I'm a Twitter
I'm
guy.
on Twitter.
I've
scrolling.
seen-
But I don't suffer
When
from
it's got-
insomnia.
I left
I'm
Twitter
scrolling
because of the
throughout.
asinine arguments. I totally disagree with this statement.
Yeah,
It
but
was a
are
fact
you
that
on, what are you on more?
I'm not on Twitter at all.
You don't scroll at all just to see what's going on?
No. The only time I see Twitter is when you guys send a
Like
link.
trade deadline?
The only
Alright.
time I see Twitter is when you guys send a link,
here's another one, and we'll close out with this one.
and I don't miss it.
A man's beard grows faster when he's anticipating sex. How's your beard looking in there, Nate?
I can't grow.
Mine's
I
growing.
can't grow. A
Mine's
beard.
growing in.
Yeah, so he's not growing. So you know what that means. He ain't anticipating it.
I can't wait till beards aren't cool. Fuck all you guys.
They'll
Never
always be
happened.
cool. They'll always be cool.
Yeah, they'll always be.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us again on another Thursday evening here. A hot Thursday evening in Philly. Yeah. Phils, let's go. We got a nice, it should be an exciting second half here.
Yes.
We'll see how far they can push into the playoffs.
October baseball.
I think they get the wild card. These guys are very excited. They'll get farther. I don't know.
No,
Training
so they have
camp-
a chance. We didn't say
Chance.
They'll get that. It's them in St. Louis for the wild card. They'll get the wild card. It's down to
And-
those two.
And training camp. We're gonna have actually we'll have a game next week at this point, I think, right?
Yep.
Thursday night, our
Yep.
first preseason game.
That's right. Raiders Jags tonight.
Raiders Jags tonight.
With 4 wins,
Um,
Doug Peterson will become the 5th all-time leading victory for coaches in the Jaguar franchise, surpassing Urban Meyer.
Jags are losing
Check
that out.
50-0.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us again,
Rain delay for Philly.
and be excellent to each other. See you next week.
Yeah, that's us.
I think this the one here. Turn the beat up. Just a little bit.